Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. 721 the Assyrian king. He took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the waters still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Oh, Simeon, our highest gathering in Israel. How you doing, young man? Together our wives and children showed us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A higher gather us. Whoa. Hey, lawyer. Let's get the scripture where it says, with the unrighteous, they plan but not aright. And, a highest gathering in Israel. Oh. Shalom. Hey. Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans, that's who we be, we be. Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Simeon, our highest gathering Israel. Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Rick Harshar, the Gathering of Christ Church, getting everything good here. We're starting 7:30 on the nose here. Usually we start around 7 o'clock, but I kind of figured I would start a little later and, make a good dialogue for a few hours with you all this evening for our weekly Gathering of Christ Church, what used to be the Blog Talk broadcast. I have my brothers and sisters on Blog Talk right now, but it has turned into something on its own with this new YouTube platform, okay? And we'd like to say hello to our brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth on YouTube, as well as those who are listening to us live here on Blog Talk. Shalom. I mean, we have a very, very interesting topic this evening, and I'm going to try to make it more interactive with you this evening. Elder Lawyer is coming here now, and he got some water. Shalom, brother.
Shalom, shalom.
All right. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to be more interactive today. Usually we just teach and discuss what's on our mind, but I don't want to ignore some of the brothers and sisters who may be making comments, who would like to say a few things live through our live chat. Okay, I see our brothers and sisters here. We have Star, Tasha. How you doing, Tasha? Diane, Merce Harding, Jay Livingston, Kay Walker, Rawathia, how are you? Rosanna, Judah 77, Florida, what's going on? KK, Patrix, and all of you, of course, we're going to be interacting because I want this to be more so an interactive type of discussion this evening with you all. Now, and of course, we'll have your gratuitous trolls who might come through ever so often and, try to distract people from the word. But you know what? If you trolling, we welcome you to with an opportunity to spread the word to you. If you want to troll, say anything, say what you want. We're going to bring forth the word regardless without being distracted here. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get the phone number real quick here for those who might call in. 505-605-9327. Okay. The phone number 515, yeah. 515-605-9327. That's our Blog Talk number for those that are on Blog Talk. But if you are out there on YouTube and would like to call in, question or comment, or whatever the case may be on the topic, just hit the 1. It'll place you in queue, and you can give your comment or ask questions. It's wide open this evening. And I wanted to keep the topic wide open today, Elder Lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I know you have no idea what came to mind, but there's so many things going on, right? So I thought that I would keep it open-ended. Mm-hmm. All right? So check out which way we're going here, Elder Lawyer. Signs of when you know it's over. Right? And I know a lot of you might have some signs concerning everything you're witnessing and seeing out there in the world today, the total confusion. And now keep in mind, most in the world are so caught up, right, in what the world has become. They have no idea what direction to go within all this confusion, right? They don't even understand that what we're witnessing in this earth today is abnormal. Not normal at all. This world is insane. Okay? And I'm going to go over a few things, right? Signs of when you know it's over. We're living in, brothers and sisters, we're living in the worst, but yet the best of times. Sounds confusing, doesn't it? Sounds totally confusing. How can things be bad but good? The best, the worst but best of times. Listen to why I say this. Worse, because of the unrighteousness and wickedness that abounds. Best of times, because of the righteous remnant. Certain people on this earth that was born for this time, has been waiting for this time. There's a remnant here. Best because of that remnant of the righteous who can see these prophecies unfolding and praise the Most High for confirming his word. There's some people in this earth that can actually make sense of this confusion. Like last week we were teaching, we went into a lesson making sense of a confusing world. You know what? That's a gift of the Most High to have eyes to see and ears to hear. So even though, it can become, in some cases, depressing, upsetting, seeing the state of the world. But all in all, brothers and sisters, this is a good time to be born. And I'm going to talk about it in a moment. That the righteous see the Most High as confirming his word, even through this chaos. It's a great time for those who believe in the Most High to be alive. Now, for you atheists or people who don't believe in anything, hey, what a miserable life to have no hope, but to only look forward to this confusion we've been born into with no answers. Okay, with no answers for anything. What a miserable life today to be an atheist. or an unbeliever. Now, what I want to talk about today, brothers and sisters, is that we must endure through this. Right? What are you witnessing? We're living, brothers and sisters, in the fall of this world and the beginning of our world. That's the time we're living in right now. Through this chaos, the Most High is building his remnant out of the ashes. I don't believe this. I know this. Okay? I want to talk today. Signs of when you know it's over. Man. Shapad and I was driving a few weeks ago in a car, and something came on the news that stated that 50% of Americans are on some form of psychotropic. Knowing, some knowingly, and some unknowingly. Imagine that. 50% of Americans, over 50%, are on some level of psychotropic. Drugged out of their minds in total confusion. In this age of quote unquote mental health. Right? On top of this, these are a few things that I'm just observing the world and checking this world out with the Bible open and saying, you know what? It's time to get on the ark. 50% of the people, brothers and sisters, are out of their minds, knowingly or unknowingly. Now, on top of that, what we've noticed, and I seen this on TV the other day, right? And I keep going here again because the Bible gives us that sign of when things get like it was during the time of Abram and Lot, the time of, going into the height of Sodom and Gomorrah. Looking at TV the other day, and there was a family getting counseled by a right out unrepentant homosexual man. A family was getting a counsel from a sick, abused, unrepentant psycho. And the family was like, well, that makes more sense. That makes sense. Looking at TV, and the sisters are getting counseled by homosexuals. Signs when you know it's over. Okay. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm just tagging along. I'm trying to string it along until we get a certain number in here. But you see where we're going at here, right? Mm-hmm. See which way we're going here, right? Like I said last week, all we hearing is R. Kelly, as if what R. Kelly has done is the end of the world. And you know what? I don't agree with anything R. Kelly has been doing. Right? I don't agree with it at all. But looking in the news this last week, we've been distracted from a lot of key information. That's telltale signs when you know it's over. Okay? And I'm like, you know what? Based on everything I'm seeing right now, it's primed for the world powers to begin to try to engage, our community on every level. Warfare. I'm not talking about psychological warfare, whatever the case is, brothers. I'm talking about they're coming to war against us. I'm going to talk about that during this broadcast. Signs of when you know it's over. Lawyer, up until this time, it's been more so a psychological play, right?
Right.
An indirect play on engaging Judah. The black man is Judah, right? It's been more psychological, and it's been a more patient on their side sort of warfare. And what I mean by that, looking at history, and I'm going to get into the Bible in a second. I got a lot of scriptures, but I'm waiting for this to get up. We're up 725. Hit that like so we can get it up to 1,000. Then I'm going in. Okay. I was checking out how, and see, because the majority of people are confused out there, right? The majority of people out there can't see a pattern on their psychological warfare against Judah, against the Israelite man. But I see it. I see the pattern. And here's signs when you know it's over. It doesn't matter what the topic is. At the end of the day, the black man, at the end of this, becomes the enemy of the state. Regardless of anything, it doesn't matter what they're talking about geopolitically, whether they're talking about it on a social level, or on any level that they're bringing out things throughout the media. We're going to discuss that too. It comes out that the black man or the Israelite man, at the end of it, is the one between the crosshairs that's being targeted to be killed, imprisoned, or what? You got it, defamed. I mean, these are signs when you know it's over, brothers and sisters. Like, I'm going to give you an example, right? Just some examples. And then I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to show you where I'm going here. Signs of when you know it's over. Now, growing up in the 90s, 2000s, right? Coming out of the 80s into the 90s, you know, you was a young buck back then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? But there was a thing in which the black community could care less about what was going on with this so-called disease named AIDS, by the name of AIDS. Right? Why? Because we were taught, looking at Philadelphia, quote unquote, being from Philadelphia, there was a movie filmed in Philadelphia, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, a black and a white man, a black lawyer helping a gay white man who caught a quote unquote disease through being promiscuous, going out in clubs and just having promiscuous gay sex. And they, at this time, that was coined what? That was sold to us as a gay disease. We could care less about it. Right? It was a disease for only sinful white people. Even to the degree that our pastors was teaching in the church that God is plaguing gay whites for their acts of homosexuality against the word of God. I remember going to the church and hearing those sermons. Right? And now, who's the face of AIDS now? I'm asking you. Who's the face of AIDS, folks? We were always the target. And I'm putting this out there so that we can stop looking this way and understand everything they roll out through their media. We begin to see it through the lens of the Most High based on their warfare tactics. Understanding their warfare tactics and prepare accordingly. It's never what they roll out. The white man, the white gay man, was the face of AIDS. Right? But there was really no disease called AIDS, folks. It was about depopulating and getting these poor third world countries on the AZT cancer drug that caused all of the symptoms to make one look like an AIDS patient. And thereby making these diseased people the plague of society. It's about having that negative stigma on God's people in a prophetic time. Right? We became the face of AIDS. So the CDC and others began to go out through these other countries and make it what? Started with the funding, brothers and sisters, setting up our own people to push the killer drug AZT on poor black children. Right? I'm just showing you this. Signs of when you know it's over, right? Listen to this. Coming off the back of the R. Kelly stories.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Someone tell me, when did the black man become the face of molestation? When did the black man, come on, I'm waiting. When did the black man become the face of molestation? And just like they did with the fake AIDS epidemic, folks, same thing. Okay, it's the same social engineering because it works over and over again. They'll just, this is different, same narrative, it's a different narrative, same systematic warfare against us through the media. Right? When did we become the face of molestation? But I'm going to hold that for a second because I have a few clips that I would like to play. I'm going to play the audio. I'll let you see the visuals, but I'll play the audio so you can hear the audio, okay? I don't want us to get our page taken down due to playing certain things, you know, online or whatever the case is. So I'm going to play those for you in a second. We're almost up to 900. Good. Keep on hitting the like button. We're going to get up to 1,000 in a second. Keep hitting the like. Now, before I get to the molestation thing, right? For those who just came in, signs of when you know it's over. Why it doesn't matter what the act is that's being promoted in the earth that's negative. The black man at the end of the day becomes the face of it. You haven't noticed that? You haven't noticed that? Listen to this here. Some September 11th, 2001. Some Arab jihadis going out partying with strippers, knocking back 8 balls the night before. Right? All plans to get on an airline in New York and run a plane into the building in the name of jihad. Right? You know the story. September 11th, the Arabs, Bin Laden in his cave with his walkie-talkie, concocted the greatest warfare plan throughout existence against the most guarded country in the free world. And the towers fell. Still towers fell by being hit by 2 planes, if you believe that. But whether or not you believe it, it doesn't matter. The narrative has shifted. They've shifted it to now Somali black terrorists and guerrilla terrorists in Africa who might be traveling, or black people from America who might be traveling back over the Middle East in the name of jihadi to fight against America. Have you noticed that? Signs when you know it's over, folks. We're living in the good times, it's the worst of times, but it's good, folks. I understand why they're targeting us, brothers and sisters. The Most High has awakened the sleeping lion. We're no longer falling for their programming and their depopulation programs against us, as well as their psychological warfare against us. The Most High have us well aware. Okay, he has us well aware to the fact that we were born into a war. And guess what? The characters have titles, have names. We, the children of God, the people of the Bible, have been born into a war. It's just that now we're just the last ones to wake up to it. We're the last to wake up to it, folks. But you notice at the end of every negative narrative going back, lawyer, it ended up being the black man as the cause or the face of all negative. Have you noticed that? Now let's get back to R. Kelly real quick. And it's not going to be a show on R. Kelly. We're going to do it real quick and go right past it. The fact that all of a sudden R. Kelly is the face of molestation. What have you missed? They even pulled out that satanic demon who crawled out of hell by the name of Allred. Okay, same script they used for Bill Cosby. They roll out this woman as if she's for our people and go find some simple-minded sisters to stand next to ostracize and to demonize and to destroy us. See, you have to realize R. Kelly is just a proxy. The laws they're going to put on the books will be aimed towards destroying us. At the end of the day, your Catholic priests aren't the face of molestation, even though there's countless charges on them till this day. The only priesthood on earth that's above the law, regardless of what they do, cannot be charged for raping and destroying all these children. White priest. A lot of you don't even know that it's equally as bad with these imams in Islam.
Yep.
It's equally as bad. Children being molested by their imams. Right? But at the end of the day, folks, who's the face of molestation? We are. We are. Now, the story is one thing, but what they're putting in place because of the stories is what we as a people must prepare for. They could care less about R. Kelly the same way they could care less about us. But if we can get to anyone and mention anything and try to help our brothers and sisters out there, I would say this. I would say this to you. Stop being led like sheep. You're only talking about R. Kelly because the news and the Zionist-controlled media is talking about R. Kelly. The same way you're only talking about terrorism or you're only talking about whatever else, only if the media pushes a narrative, you'll jump and carry it, not realizing at the end of it, you are between the crosshairs. Right? Okay, we're at 968. That's good enough to start. When you come in, make sure you hit the like button, brothers and sisters, because I'm going to show you something today. We're going to go in today. Hit the like button so others can be notified that the Gathering of Christ Church is live. And we're here to bring this truth this evening. Signs when you know it's over. Right? We are living in the worst and best of times. Worse, because of the unrighteousness and wickedness that abounds. Best, because of the righteous remnant who see the prophecies unfolding and praise the Most High for confirming His word. Even through this chaos, it's a great time to be alive. We must endure. We must endure through this time. It's warfare, folks. Spiritual warfare first. And we're at the fall of this world. The fall of this world is the beginning of ours. It's the beginning of ours. Now, we're going to talk about this real quick, right? We had 1,000. Great. Elder Lawyer, read this for me. Matthew 13:13.
Yes, sir.
Do you notice at the end of it, brothers and sisters, at the end of it, the black man, the tribe of Israel, the Israelites, our people, are demonized at the end of every narrative. It starts off with whatever the narrative is. Mm-hmm. Why? Because that gets us on board and rally us together. It unite us against a heinous act. Yep. Right? Mm-hmm. Without us making excuses, because why? It's not us. Mm-hmm. So we can't make no excuses for our loved ones. Oh, that's white people that does that. That's Muslims that does that. Just to get you on board against it. And then once they got all of us together against it, boom, they drop the ball and say, guess what? Now you're the face of it. Mm-hmm. Now you're the face of it. We just wanted to get your attention. We use an Arab to get your attention to disagree with it. Because if you can disagree with it when it's an Arab, you cannot disagree with it when it's T-Bone and Ray Ray up the street from you. Mm-hmm. You're now on board. Everybody was, oh yeah, the casting couch of Hollywood. Oh, Weinstein did this and Weinstein did that. Yep. Now, of course, it was a white Jewish guy. You think they wanted a white Jewish man to be the face of molestation and sexual perversion? Even though we know what the Greeks and Romans were known for. They are the Greeks and Romans, folks. Guess what? They are the perverts of all perverts. Right? Who you think taught R. Kelly? R. Kelly could learn but so much in the hood. When he walked down that red carpet and started going to those private parties with Hugh Hefner and all them, that's when he realized what real perversion was. Everyone's talking about Weinstein. And you know those editors at the news, those Zionist media outlets sit at the table, these so-called editors and high wigs that are bought by the corporate corporations called news stations. Don't you know that their news circulations and what goes out is an agenda that's first spoke within private councils and meetings before they roll out a story? There's an objective with every story they roll out. Man, everyone's talking about white pedophiles. We had Weinstein. We had the guy who had the rape island who used to take Clinton to rape children. Pizzagate and all that. I forgot that guy's name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got this guy. Who else we have here? You have Kevin
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, who's in the news right now that no one's talking about. Have a long line of years of molestation against him, and no one knows about it. They're like, no, let's switch this up. Oh, we got this story about 25 years ago about Ali, even though these are grown folk he's living with now. Let's go pull R. Kelly up and make him the face of molestation, even though they're molesting right now. I'm going to tell you, this is warfare, folks. And I need y'all to really examine what I'm saying here. When they engage our cities, and they will, our neighborhoods, there will be no black men to protect our women and children. Okay? So be careful speaking up and siding with the powers that be against anybody that looks like you. Mm-hmm. Be very careful, because this was a systematic program that they put in place years ago, knowing this time would come, that eventually black men would wake up and realize that we're the children of God. And that we would begin to call on the Most High for our strength to battle their wickedness and evil. They knew this time would come decades ago. So they set it in place. You know what? We must become the daddy. Give the sisters social programs. We'll become their housing. We'll become their food. Let's separate her from the man. I don't need a man. Then make it where now there's variances in between where either talks evil against one another. Husband against wife, father against son, mother against daughter. Let's set a system in which now they are at variance with each other, suing each other, going against each other, and now the man must leave. Okay? There is no responsibility or a will to protect an enemy that have been systematically cultivated by this satanic system. So now the man is not needed anymore. There's troops on the ground. The majority of the homes are being raised by women. Man, it's going to be nothing for the foreign troops to engage our cities and enslave and chip our women and children.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking at this thing, how they're using this thing to demonize at the very end of things now with R. Kelly. I'm looking at this. I'm really checking this out. How everyone has something to say about that brother when it's really not about that brother. All red, and the white people are going to say, you know what? We need to protect you against any R. Kellys who may be in your society.
Mm-hmm.
A matter of fact, we must make a way to destroy the R. Kellys before they become R. Kellys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See? But it's not about molestation. It's about suppressing the only man who can oppose this system under righteousness. The children of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Predominantly.
Here's another example on that note.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter. That started off as a thing protesting against the quote-unquote brutality of white police officers against black men and
Yes.
black women.
Yes.
But eventually, you go to their website, part of their manifesto is what? We have to end the black male patriarchy, meaning the black male, what they consider the black male dominance over the family.
Okay. That's deep in itself. Hold up real quick, right? Have the comments been stopped? I don't see any comments coming in here. Okay, I'm enable the live chat because I want this to be more interactive this evening. Okay.
Does the check mark turn it on?
Enable live chat.
Yeah, that should turn it on.
And we're going to enable slow mode. That way, I want to hear what you all have to say.
Yeah.
See if you all are with me. If you hear what I'm saying, I need y'all to come on in this chat real quick. Say something so I can know that you exist out there.
Should you scroll down here?
Yeah. One
Should tell
second.
you how many chats are coming in.
Where at?
Right there.
Shouldn't we see the chats?
Yeah, you can see it, but that just confirms that chats are coming in. Try to enlarge this here.
Okay.
So 20 and a half messages a minute.
Okay, the messages are coming in,
Yeah, they should.
but we don't see them.
Yeah.
All right, one moment. Let me just refresh it to see what happens. One moment. Okay, yeah, I see them.
Yep.
I had to refresh it. Okay, we see you. We see you. All right. Jumping right in. Let me cut off this heat. It's getting hot down here. Is it hot to you?
It's a little warm.
A little warm?
Yeah.
All right. Let me turn this off real quick. Okay, that's good. Okay, we good. They hear us. Oh, yeah, another thing. We're going to show you how they systematically programmed us to battle each other in this serious time so that we wouldn't rally together in this serious time of need. We thought that civil rights was for black people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about it. They done turned civil rights into a homosexual right to actually be utilized as a perverted weapon against righteous family within our societies. Civil rights have been weaponized against us. Where's our rights? So what did they do? Going back to where I was at, they separated the families, made it where women would raise the children. No men. Men are incarcerated or being feminized or, of course, being raised without men, emotionally unstable and not able to lead. Right? Now they have the troops on the soil ready to kick in doors eventually. Without what? Any resistance. There will be no resistance because there is no men. There is no men. Black men have become the face of everything that's wrong. You can't see this? The feminist movement. Is it benefiting women? No, because the other nations that are feminists are still behind their men. It was actually made so that our women would stand up against their only help. Mm-hmm. The only man who could help them in this time. They'll talk that feminist garbage all day, but at the end of the day, these white women in other nations are behind their man. They only push it so that we can take it up. And then we become the face of feminism. Signs of when you know it's over. No men, just women and children ready to be ruled. In this prophetic time, in the most prophetic time according to the Most High. I'm about to jump in it. Let's go.
Yes,
go
sir.
to where you at, Matthew. Let's go.
St. Matthew chapter 13, verse 13. Therefore I speak unto them in parables.
Come on.
Because seeing they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand.
Neither do they understand. Come on.
As in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand.
So people are hearing, they have ears, but they don't understand what's going on right now. We've been socially engineered, brothers and sisters. Our people have been socially engineered to our own demise and don't even realize it. I'm going to show you the Bible speaks of this time. We don't trust each other. There's no love for one another. We're ripe for the taking. Okay? And they got the perfect guy in position right now. We're going to go into that in a moment. Your so-called Trump. Because now they have exercised the power and have executed the plan of separating us as a family, the children of Israel. They got a guy in place that will now cut off all the subsidies. In the vein of saving government. That they have to cut off all the handouts. There's no need for handouts anymore. The black family has been broken. Mm-hmm. And when there's no food, and there's no water, and there's no welfare, and there's no jobs, sister's going to look around and say, man, we've been played. When they come and do with these natural disasters and cut off the electricity and begin to knock open doors, you're going to know we've been played. I don't care what woman run around trying to look like a man. The real woman going to come out. She's going to show who she is when them foreign troops begin to knock down your doors. If you got some butch woman laying next to you with a pair of jeans on, thinking that woman is going to protect you, she's going to scream louder than you in that time. You're going to know how much of a man she isn't. I'm going to tell you right now. The Bible says, blessed are your eyes that you see. The family have been totally disconnected and separated, and the freaks are running the asylum. Let's read it.
St. Matthew chapter 13, verse number 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith,
Come on.
By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand. And seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive.
They can see, but they can't see. They have eyes, but they can't see, and ears that they can't hear. They don't perceive that we are living in the times of the end. The Bible tells us, in that day, a man shall be like pure gold. It's okay. You can think that, okay, I can operate without a man. I'm okay without a man. It's okay to feel like that with a vibrant working system. But according to the Bible, when that system stops and the lights go out, you're going to wish a man was around. Our people right now are ripe for engagement. We are ripe for engagement. The boys are too sensitive being raised by women. So there's no fighting them. The only fight they have is to fight each other like they did growing up in the house, because there was no man to say, listen, y'all don't fight each other. So the boys are only emotional. They can only fight little girls and fight people in there. They don't understand how to operate and fight on a spiritual level, on a righteous, calculating level. You can't learn that strictly being under a woman. That means all of your decisions are made chiefly from what first? How you feel, your emotion. So our cities are being ripe for engagement, folks. You need to think about that. When those foreign troops come through and they're on American soil, they will kill without opposition. Okay? Because what layers of friction they have to fight through? Women and feminized little boys, or just gay houses altogether? It's a prime time. Man, I was driving on my way here and I'm like, you know what? I can feel it in the air. I can feel it. I'm like, you know what? There's signs to know when it's almost over. Everyone is on psychotropics. Everyone is confused. And you know what? The powers that be are focused and ready. They're not confused. They're not misdirected through media. They're focused. Read on.
Verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing.
Their ears are dull of hearing. Our people don't want to hear anything concerning the Most High's word. They don't want to know what God have to say about all this. Everyone is just caught up in their daily actions. And guess what, brothers and sisters? It's just going to stop. It's going to stop all at once, and the world will never be the same. That's how it's going to happen. I'm going to go into the book of Jasher in a minute to show you what happened right before the Most High sent the rain. It was normal. And the whole world was caught like a thief in the night, just caught up into their own self. And only those who were tuned in could make it. 8 people, folks. 8 people. Everyone else was misdirected and didn't realize that they were in a war. And that the time would come in which the Most High had it planned and had prophets out there speaking. You had Methuselah, you had Noah, you had Enoch. But the world ignored. It's going to be a rude awakening, brothers and sisters. And guess what? How will our people make it through this? I rode through the city the other day. 90% of the people are sick. Everyone is sick. All the people I grew up with are sick. Physically sick. Women are running everything. No one is exercising. The people are obese, men and women. No families are together. And I'm seeing this. I'm like, you know what? This place is ripe for war. If they came now, they would destroy the powers would destroy us without opposition. There would be no opposition. And it's coming. But blessed are our eyes that we see. Listen to this here. Come on.
For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing.
Their ears are dull of hearing. And it makes me wonder. It makes me ask this question, Elder Lawyer. And I'm going to put it out there. And I thought about this. Signs of when you know it's over. What are we actually getting out of religion right now? Why go to your church? What are you getting out of your church right now? I thought about it. What are you getting out of your church? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. If Christ was to come back now, the first thing he would do is destroy all the pastors and shut down every church. Every church would be shut down. Every last one, starting with Mama, the Catholic Church. Because you would think, living in a prophetic time, pastors everywhere would be saying what you hear right here, right now. You can't be spiritual or discerning and not feel something is coming. Let's go.
In their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
Man, and I think about it too. When it all go down, and that EMP eventually comes, and that wall, let me tell you, them cutting off certain parts of the government has nothing to do with the wall, folks. It has everything to do with cutting back in preparation for engaging the population. It has nothing to do with the wall. The wall is going to be built anyway. It has everything to do with cutting people off the same way what happened in 70 AD when they cut off food and water before they begin engagement. Okay? It's coming. And when that EMP go down, and when it happens, folks, let me tell you, we have our little phones here. And there will be no selfies, no Twitter, no Snapchat, no Facebook. You know what you're going to use this for one good time? It's only going to be good for one thing. When they come through the door to try to throw it at somebody. That's what this is going to be used for. You only have one good shot. So you better be ready like David. You better start practicing now, because that's what this is going to be good for. One good shot. Mm-hmm. It's all going to stop at once. No gas, no water. And I thought about it. I'm like, Lord, man, if only our people could hear or understand. And it's like, listen, when it's time to go, you're going to have to go. When it's time to roll, you're going to have to, because these people don't want saving. Look at the world. We don't want it. We don't want it. Get your practice in. Okay, go get some pieces of wood, about, what, 2 inches by 8, and start throwing it. This will be good for only one thing.
Mm-hmm.
When there's no electricity, no water, no food. You can't eat it. Let's read it.
St. Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Blessed are your eyes that you see and your ears that you hear. Read.
Verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Many righteous men and women, brothers and sisters, who lived decades before us, centuries before us, long to live in the time we're in right now. Even though it's a wicked time, it's a good time to live through this, to understand that the Most High's word is real. Okay? And to know that the Most High's prophecies that was written thousands of years ago are unfolding, and can understand it and prepare accordingly. I'm going to tell you. Hold on one moment. Let me cut this off. Right? Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
What's the lesson we have today? Well, the discussion. Signs of when you know it's over. Right? I need you to read this for me real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Signs of when you know it's over, right? Here. Let's go to Jeremiah 50. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah 50. And let's start at the 6th verse.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains.
It says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. Who's the shepherds? Our leaders, our religious leaders. Right? Come on.
They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
It says they have forgotten their resting place. So the Most High compares his people, our people, like in the hood, our people, the children of Israel. I know a lot of you don't know you are, but you are the people of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He compares his people like sheep. Now, I need you to examine a sheep real quick. Okay? A sheep usually is in total dependence of what? The shepherd. Now, the shepherd take care of the sheep. Why? Because the sheep is clothing. The sheep is food. Fertilizer. Okay? The sheep, if you can take care of your sheep, the sheep takes care of you. But one thing about a sheep is very gullible, impressionable. It walks without really no fear. Sheep will actually play with its enemy. It'll play with a wolf, not realizing its danger. So the Most High says his people are what?
My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Now, the example I can use is how the Zionists use media right now to control the narrative, to guide it and keep us distracted and move us all around outside of what we should be focusing on. These are they who have eyes that can see and ears that cannot hear. They're being led by the population, by the media. You talk about what the media talks about. You have eyes you can see, but ears that cannot hear. You're led like sheep, being prepared for a slaughter. You're like sheep. So it's upon the shepherds to say what? Nah, I am in a position that I was called by the Most High to warn these sheep. Because these sheep don't know any better. If the Zionist deceivers or the wolves talk about R. Kelly, they're going to think about R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. It's up to the shepherds to keep the sheep focused. See? Here it is, you looking over here, and they're about to cut off your food, water, raiment, and looking to engage us after separating us. A shepherd would open up the Bible and say, listen, according to the Bible, we must prepare. And stop this mindless bickering and dissension and come together for this war. Clean our houses. Okay? Get our families together. Forgive one another in preparation. That's what a shepherd would say. Mm-hmm. You're looking this way while the enemy is at the door. The enemy is at the door. And you're being controlled like sheep. Diverted and distracted like sheep. We're going to show you their plan for us, folks, today. Signs of when you know it's over. Brothers and sisters, first sign, I'm glad, what are we up to here? How many people? Oh, 1293. Everyone hit the like so we can bring other people in here. Hit the like button now if you haven't already. Signs of when you know it's over. When you have a family, when families are being made or children are being born without men in the house. When there's no protector who's the image of the Most High God in every house, it's a sign of the end. Okay? If anyone needs protection, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm saying chiefly to our sisters right now. We know you had to take the mantle and run with it, and you have power and all that. You have understanding of what to do. No one is downplaying the gifts the Most High have given you. Right? It's evident your power. But you're going to need a man. Okay? All right? When the lights go off and hell break loose, you're going to understand what was important. Right? I want to go back to the days of Noah real quick. I want to go back. Let's go to Matthew 24 real quick. Signs of when you know it's over. And I'm not just speaking to the women either. The men. We're going to have to man up. Okay? Men going to have to man up. And I know we living in a society in which the majority of children and men were raised by women and all that. That's no excuse. Okay? The Most High gave you his son. That's your man. That's your father. That's your father figure. Being emotionally unstable, okay, will not be an excuse. Men gonna have to man up. Okay? We have to man up. I'm going to show you an example here. I know I'm all over the place right now, but I'm going to show you where I'm going. I just want to make sure we had the right number of people here. We had 1,300 in. Great job hitting that like button. Signs of when you know it's over. Right now we're living in the worst but best of times. Worst because the unrighteous and the wickedness abounds, but best because the righteous remnant of the Most High see prophecies unfolding and believe. We trust in the Most High that his word is true because everything he said would happen is happening. So that makes it the best of times for the righteous. But we must endure. Because the fall of this world means the beginning of ours. But we must first, as a people, the children of Israel, the people of the Bible, make it through Jacob's trouble. Let's go to Matthew 24 real quick.
St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 1.
Come on.
And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, See ye not all these things?
Come on.
Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
He showed our people the temple. Christ. He showed the disciples the temple. The great temple that was built and dedicated back to the Most High. He says, look at this temple. The Romans are coming to destroy it, and one stone will not be left on another. Mm-hmm. This place will be destroyed, will be taken to ruins. Okay? Now go down to the days of Noah. Read.
Yes, sir. Verse number 36.
Come on.
But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
Come on.
No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Come on.
But as the days of Noah were, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be.
As the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Right? What was going on during the days of Noah? Read.
Verse 38. For as in the days of Noah that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking.
Everyone having a good time. It was about just a party for themselves. Read.
And marrying and giving in marriage.
Marry and giving into marriage. Now we know this marriage goes into Genesis 6 when it discussed the fallen angels coming down dealing with women. This is not speaking of regular marriage. Marriage was in place since the time of Adam. This is speaking of perverted, quote unquote, fornication that people would call marriages today. Read.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came.
And knew not until the flood came.
And took them all away.
And took them all away.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So shall all the coming of the Son of Man, the signs of the coming of the Son of Man be. Everyone is going to be operating like normal until it stops. And it'll stop all at once. Okay? Think about today. Your regular routine. You get up, get yourself something to eat, you wash up, something to drink, have your plans for the day. Think about now a day in which it stops. And that day is now dictated to you. You no longer have power over that day. Well, that's what happened during the days of Noah. People had their plans on going to parties, coming together, doing whatever they could outside of the Most High's plans. Without knowing, had no idea, brothers and sisters, that would be the last day. Mm-hmm. As the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So we're going back to Noah. You have Jasher? Let's go Jasher real quick. Let me show you what was going on during this time.
This is the book of Jasher, chapter 4.
Come on. Right before, yeah.
All of it is good, but let me see here.
Let's get some good pieces out of it. Let's get into the what you would call the splicing and geoengineering first.
Mm-hmm. I'll jump around here. I'll start in chapter 4, verse 2 and jump to that point.
Come on.
And when Enoch had ascended into heaven, all the kings of the earth rose and took Methuselah his son and anointed him and they caused him to reign over them in the place of his father.
Come on.
Jumping down to verse number 4, it says, But in the latter days of Methuselah, the sons of men turned from the Most High. They corrupted the earth. They robbed and plundered each other.
They corrupted the earth, robbed and plundered each other. Read.
They rebelled against the Most High.
And rebelled against the Most High. I'm looking at all these swindlers and cheaters of our own people operating within our communities. Think about it. I'm checking out online what's going on with this so-called conscious community and all that. I'm like, man, let's look at this. Is exactly what the Most High showed us through the book of Jasher and the prophets. Our people are swindling each other, robbing and pillaging each other. Read. Come on.
It says, and they rebelled against the Most High, and they transgressed.
And they transgressed. They said, I don't want to hear the Most High. I don't want to hear what God has to say. I'm going to do me. I hear that. I'm like, what is, if that's not narcissistic, I'm going to do me. What's you? Read.
And they corrupted their ways and would not hearken to the voice of Methuselah, but rebelled against him.
So Methuselah, brothers and sisters, the son of Enoch, was a prophet before the flood and prophesied, warned the people to change their ways. And it's simple. Let's focus on what's important according to the Most High God now. Let's focus on what? Husband, wife, family, law. Right? People said no. No. That stuff, that's not fun. Okay. The righteousness, what? There's a party I must attend. I'm late already. You sit there with that Bible stuff, or you deal in your scrolls and talk about your God. You understand? I'm on my way to the party. Right? Read.
Verse 5. And the Most High was exceedingly wroth against them, and the Most High continued to destroy the seed in those days, so that there was neither sowing nor reaping in the earth.
The Most High began to do what? Dry up the land. For what? Lack of food. See, these are signs, folks. When you can no longer get the food you used to get, and it doesn't matter how much you spend, it seems as if your refrigerator is always empty, that to a point where you got to get groceries every day. Think about it. Do you remember the time? I remember the time growing up where my mother had to shop once for the whole month almost.
Yep.
Twice at best. Do you notice that you have to shop every day to eat now?
Yep.
Signs are right before you. And the food we do eat is poisoned. Right? Signs are when you know it's over. It's not hard. Go back to the days of Noah. See, and that's why they took books like the book of Enoch and the book of Jasher. The churches won't allow you to read these books because it goes into detail exactly what was happening before the Most High flooded the earth. And your pastors and preachers don't want you to see that they are upholding the same system the Most High destroyed. What was going on so heinous and perverted that the Most High had to destroy everything? Read.
Verse 6. For when they sowed the ground in order that they might obtain food for their support, behold, thorns and thistles were produced, which they did not sow.
That means a lack of food. Come on.
Verse 7. And still the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways, and their hands were still extended to do evil in the sight of the Most High, and they provoked the Most High with their evil ways, and the Most High was very wroth and repentant that he had made man.
Come on.
And he thought to destroy and annihilate them, And he did so. Jumping down here to verse number 17.
And see, why am I going here, brothers and sisters? Like I mentioned earlier, those diversions they putting out to demonize the black man, it's because they knew years ago that the true understanding of the Most High would be broken down by those same people.
Mm-hmm.
That through the womb of a black woman in this time would come modern day prophets and teachers. They knew it. So they began the social engineering to destroy us and separate us. And by all means, at the end of the day, demonize this man and make him the face of everything wrong in the world. That's why. That's why I mentioned earlier, it's deeper than R. Kelly. It's deeper than that. Look at these freaks in Hollywood. But why is it at the end of the day, we black men become the face of all that's wrong in the earth? Because they knew a long time ago that these people would be awakened by the Most High, the same men who they claim are the dirt of the earth would rise from the ashes and begin to prophesy against them. That's why they demonizing black men in this earth today. Okay? But guess what? It doesn't matter who's against us. The Most High have always been for us. See? You can demonize us. You can say what you want. But the Most High will be done. Judah will rise. We're rising before your eyes. You can demonize us. Okay? I will never turn on my people because of a media smear. I don't care what they say about us. I will never turn on my people based on the media's smear against us. As if they're for us. And that's what you brothers and sisters need to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to see. Okay? Come on, let's go.
Jasher 4:16. And all the sons of men departed from the ways of the Most High in those days, and they multiplied on the face of the earth with sons and daughters, and they taught one another their evil practices, and they continued sinning against the Most High. And every man made unto himself a god, and they robbed and plundered every man his neighbor, as well as his relative, and they corrupted the earth, and the earth was filled with violence.
That's what's going on right now, folks. And I'm going to tell you right now, and let's deal with it from the black and white angle right now. Blacks everywhere in the community should be upset on what you would call the governmental level. You've been plundered. You've been stolen from. Okay? On a lower level, homosexuals, black feminine men, and black feminine women and gay white people have taken all of the money that was for you through civil rights. It was families marching together, getting dogs sicked on them, water holes put on them. And they were standing for equal rights and righteousness so that black families can live under God. That's what all that civil rights money was for. But you've been plundered by homosexuals. They have come in, circumvented you through civil rights, and have stolen everything our foreparents bled for in this land. You can't see that? And you'll be the first to defend one of these perverts out here when they have taken everything from you, right from up under you. You can't see that? It's to the point where the system don't even go to you as a black man or a regular black woman or a family person to speak for what's going on within our communities. They go straight to the perverts now because the perverts are being funded against you. You're being plundered by the perverts Okay, the same as it was before the flood. The freaks are running everything. And you'll be the first to speak up in defense of these enemies of the Most High. You've been plundered. You ain't noticed that? You don't have a pot to pee in, a window to throw it out, and yet they got everything now. You notice that? Nice penthouses, nice cars. They got all the nice jobs now. They have just, who funded them against you, folks? Let's go.
Verse 18. And their judges and their rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice.
Come on.
And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth.
And it's talking about now, even back then, you had brothers seeking out, well, it was on a higher level than just brothers, but it happened on a lower level also, where brothers no longer held marriage sacred and wanted other men's women. Other brothers' women. Just like the days of Noah. A brother or sister have an argument or have a disagreement, and now you got to fear her chatting with someone or her texting someone behind your back or vice versa now. With the enemy at the door. Same thing. When marriage is no longer sacred, there's nothing for a man to protect. There's nothing left for a man to protect.
Right.
If he don't have a family, he lose that protection mechanism that's inherent with being a man. So if they can separate family, they can destroy purpose to defend. And that's what it's about. Same thing happened before the flood. Signs of when you know it's over. Read.
The rest of verse 18, chapter 4. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth and the beast of the field and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other.
Cross-splicing, science. Cross-splicing animals happened right before the flood. The majority of the foods in our supermarkets are cloned food. Geoengineered poisons. It happened before the flood. We're here. Read.
In order therewith to provoke the Most High, and the Most High saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its way upon earth, all men and all animals.
And I'm going to put this out there because someone mentioned something that I just found out about not too long ago called MGTOW. Men going their own way. And you know what? A lot of these, and I've seen a few of these videos, and a lot of these brothers are articulate. And they can actually explain what is. And a lot of their observations are true. But if you go your own way, keep in mind what you are against has won.
Right.
What you resolve and see is true. But who's going to be the man to stand at the very end of this? So when these things begin to crumble, you have to be there with a sane mind to put it together and forgive. To know that there's no nation without your sister, regardless of where her head is right now. If we go our own way and she go her own way, our nation cease to exist. So these brothers be articulating things and are right in their observations. Some of them. But those observations are without righteous resolve. You never hear, well, based on this, This is how I'm going to fix it. I'm not just going to create more of the same women that I'm complaining about by just using them and abusing them and leaving them out there.
Right.
So that's your answer. Well, I'll deal with them, but I'll just use them for flesh. It doesn't work that way. If you can observe and understand exactly why women are the way they are, now it's upon you to look into this Bible and say, you know what? It's upon me according to the Most High. It's my position as a what? As a prince of the Most High, being Yasha Allah. It's my responsibility to help fix her. Okay. Now, if she don't want to get fixed, you know what? Christ have an answer for that. Christ gave us the answer for that if she don't want to get fixed. Remember Lot's wife. Lot's wife head was all up in the world. She was accepting and excusing all of the evil that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, just like our women do right now. But Lot still did everything he could to get her and his children out of there. But the Most High told her, and Lot, it's wickedness back there. Don't look back. Or it is show that your heart was always in it. That something about that land, that perversion is still a part of you. A part of it is still in you if you look back. And you know what she did? She turned back and turned into a pillar of salt. And you can find that pillar of salt right now where she stood, leaving Sodom and Gomorrah. Somebody give me that out of the Bible dictionary real quick. Right here. I can show you the pillar of salt, archaeological proof that the Most High turned her into stone. So that's the answer. You don't go your own way. You work with her, try to get her out of it. But if her heart is in it, Christ says what? Remember Lot's wife. Look at this. Look at that. Want y'all to see that. See that there? That's where that was her. She was turned to a pillar of salt. Mm-hmm. See that stone sticking out of the horizon? That's Lot's wife. She's there till this day. So you don't go your own way. You teach her what's right. And if she choose wrong, remember what Christ said. Remember Lot's wife. If her heart is in Sodom and Gomorrah, if she have an infinity to endear herself to the wickedness of this world and think there's something righteous about hanging out with homosexuals and focusing on her party life opposed to her children and her husband, understand that the wicked will not go unpunished. You still do what's right by her. And you know what? If she don't repent, remember Lot's wife and know that she had every opportunity to repent. That's our position as men of the Most High. Because they don't know any better. They're like sheep, folks. What you expect? Okay. We've all been affected by this system, but destroying each other and coming against each other isn't the resolve, is it? Let's go back to where we were, Elder Lawyer. The day of Noah.
Mm-hmm. Verse 19.
Come on.
And the Most High said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth.
Come on.
Yea, from man to the birds of the air, together with the cattle and beasts that are in the field. For I repent that I had made them.
The Most High says he repent that he made man. Man totally denied the Most High. Now let's go directly to when Noah got on the ark here. right before Noah got on the ark. And yeah, people try to claim the Bible isn't real. Archaeology is there to this day. Sodom and Gomorrah still smell of sulfur. You can go there in the same area that the Most High torched, and you can actually go there and grab and still see the stone is broken from the fire. It's black there till this day. The place where Lot's wife looked back is still there. The pillar of salt that she became is still there as a monument in the east. Let's go.
This is Jasher chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 11. And on that day the Most High caused the whole earth to shake, and the sun darkened, and the foundations of the world raged. And the whole earth was moved violently. And the lightning flashed, and the thunder roared, and all the fountains of the earth were broken up.
Come on.
Such as was not known to the inhabitants before.
Come on.
And the Most High did this mighty act in order to terrify the sons of men, that there might be no more evil upon earth.
Someone asked, what is the objective here? The Bible is the objective. Saving people before the destruction is the objective. Having us seek the Most High early and repent from our evil ways and come back as a people and not be diverted from this wicked system is the objective. Read.
It says here, verse number 12, and still the sons of men would not return from their evil ways, and they increased their anger of the Most High at that time, and did not even direct their hearts to all this.
Come on.
And at the end of 7 days, in the 600th year of the life of Noah, the waters of the flood were upon the earth, and all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
I need you to go directly to when Noah went into the ark.
It's coming up.
Come on.
And all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
Come on.
And Noah and his household and all the living creatures that were with him came into the ark on the account of the waters of the flood, and the Lord shut them in. Verse 16. And all the sons of men that were left upon the earth became exhausted through evil on account of the rain, for the waters were coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and beasts were still surrounding the ark.
Now at this time, the water just continually to come. It was just raining and raining and raining, right? And the people kind of figured, well, we're going to take shelter. You understand? Eventually this rain will stop, right? Eventually the sun will shine again. But then what? Flooding began. Early in the rain, brothers and sisters, they were just taking shelter. But look what happened when they realized the Most High wasn't going to stop the rain. Now, mind you, Methuselah and Noah told them that destruction would soon come upon the earth. And they ignored. When the rain started, guess what, brothers and sisters? They took shelter and the parties stopped. They kind of figured eventually the sun will come out again, right? Listen to this.
Verse 16, it says, and all the sons of men that were left upon the earth became exhausted through evil on account of the rain, for the waters were coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and beasts were still surrounding the ark.
Look at that. The rain got worse. They thought it would slack up, and the Most High began thundering and lightning, and the rain began to fall even worse. Read.
Verse 17, and the sons of men assembled together about 700,000 men and women. 700,000
men and women gathered together. Read.
And they came unto Noah to the ark.
Imagine that. Almost 1 million people is surrounding this one ark, folks. Didn't want to listen. Wouldn't repent so that the Most High could save the earth. Now they're looking at something floating and saying, well, hold up. That ark. That was the only place of refuge. See? No partying. The party is stopped now. Come on.
Verse 18, and they called to Noah, saying, open for us that we may come to thee in the ark.
Now, open, Noah. Can you open the ark so that we can come in? Now, you know what's going on here. If Noah opens the ark, all those people, okay, eventually the ark will sink. They'll kill the 8 people who were saved who did listen. Oh, now you want to listen. You want to understand and repent once it's too late. Now you want to serve the living God. Okay. Read.
Verse 19, and Noah with a loud voice answered them from the ark, saying,
What did Noah say?
have you not all rebelled against the Most High,
He said, you've all sinned against the Most High. You never listened to him. Read.
and said that he does not exist?
You said that the Most High didn't exist, you atheist. You said this. You said I was crazy building an ark, speaking to an invisible God. You said I was crazy, atheist. Read.
And therefore the Most High brought upon you this evil to destroy and cut you off from the face of the earth.
In judgment, you know the Most High is real. Now you know that God that spoke to us was real. Read.
Verse 20, is not this the thing that I spoke to you of 120 years back?
Come on.
And would you not hearken to the voice of the Lord?
Why didn't you listen then? Come on.
And now do you desire to live upon the earth? And they said to Noah, we are ready to return to the Most High.
He says, listen, they're up to here in water saying they're ready to repent. We're ready to listen to your God now. We know he's real now. Read.
Only open for us that we may live and not die.
Come on.
And Noah answered them, saying, behold now that you see the trouble of your souls. You wish to return to the Most High. Why did you not return during these 120 years, which the Lord granted you as the determined period?
Why didn't you listen during 120 years of prophesying? You know how it is. 10 years go by. The sun's still shining. 30 years, 50 years go by. Oh man, it's always been like this. You always been talking that stuff about this God, but nothing ever changes. We're still doing the same thing when you could have been having fun like us, right? Look at all the fun you missed out on listening to this invisible God, right? Noah said, listen, you could have built it with us. You could have been on here. We told you we were building it for those who would like to come in. And we would make the measurements accordingly. Read.
Verse number 23. But now you come and tell me this on account of the troubles of your souls. Now also the Most High will not listen to you, neither will he give ear to you on this day.
Come on.
So that you will not succeed in your wishes.
Come on.
And the sons of men approached in order to break into the ark, to come in on account of the rain, for they could not bear the rain upon them.
So then they went to get tools and get things to try to break into the ark. Now they're looking to drown Noah. Okay. Had opportunity, didn't put in no work for the Most High. Now seeking refuge. Now you want to follow the living God. So now these simpletons went and tried to get tools and all these other things and say, listen, we're going to break into the ark. The Most High was like, you're not going to sink the righteous. I'm not going to allow you to sink the righteous. What did the Most High do?
Verse 25.
Read.
And the Most High sent all the beasts and animals that stood round the ark, and the beast overpowered them and drove them from that place. And every man went his way, and they again scattered themselves upon the face of the earth.
So the beasts that weren't placed in the ark guarded the ark. Now that didn't stop them. When the waters got higher, they came back again. And the Most High sent sharks. Noah looked out of the hedge and see nothing but blood all around the ark of the unrighteous for their disobedience. The Most High began to send sea creatures and all that and kill them off the earth. So when Christ speaks, like in the day of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be, folks, it'll be all of a sudden. What we think is all of a sudden it's way deeper than that, because you'll see signs up until that point ignored. The same way it was just beasts there at first, and they went and got shelter and all that, and the waters continued day after day, and they started swimming to higher heights and hills. And when they realized the water would go up too high, they say, you know what, let's take some tools and break into the ark. And that's when the Most High sent the sharks. What do we need to see right now? Families have been separated. The majority of families, folks, don't have a man in it. Now, we know reading the Bible, when the Bible tells when the men go into the city, you take women and children for spoil. You kill the men and take women and children for spoil, which means there was a layer of men as opposition against warfare in the Old Testament. Not now. The men who would do anything are locked up in jail. The women are ripe for the taking, women and children. On top of that, you have what you would call a shutdown government in which they're threatening to cut off food and water. No more what they call government handouts. That's 70 AD all over again. Making it, starving the people out, saying, get on your feet. Work and assume the American dream, when you know these people haven't been programmed or taught to work outside of their domestication. Mm-hmm. They've been socially engineered just to pump out children as slaves for the elite powers. They don't know what standing up on their feet is. We have families who inherently, or mothers who inherently teaches their children how to get on welfare when they get a certain age. Mm-hmm. That's the job. That's what that's like filling out an application in the hood. Mm. They're going to cut off the food and the water. You don't see the signs? They're building a wall. You don't see the signs? You can't see the slaughter? I can. And guess what? The war will not be televised. It will not be televised, folks. They will cut off the electricity. They will cut everything off. And when the lights come on, Jacob, brothers and sisters, will be the sacrifice. Let me show you something. Signs when you know it's over. You take the man out of the house. You have the women primed with no direction to be destroyed with no man. Have the children growing up with no direction. See? Cut off the food and the water. Build a wall so that none escape. Then engage the population by doing what? By demonizing the man and making that man the only protection of us. Enemy of the state. Signs when you know it's over, folks. And sisters who've aligned themselves with others outside of your man, it's time to come back. It's time to come back. If you have aligned yourself with anyone else, and you brothers who think you can align yourself outside of your purpose, with all of our sisters suffering with nothing and nobody. It's time for you to come back, because you're going to be caught out there, buddy. You think you can go live out amongst these cats who are preparing with their guns and all that? You think they're thinking about sharing with you when this thing drops? Okay? You think they're your buddies when this thing drops, folks? They are culminating a race war. They are fueling a race divide. You can't see this? Signs when you know it's over. But here's the sad part about this, brothers and sisters. No one is going to listen. No one is going to listen. The majority of us, the Bible tells us, 90% of our people are going to die through this war. 9 out of every 10. Can I get that real quick out in Isaiah, Elder Lawyer? I know you hear a lot of brothers talking about the 2/3. The 2/3 will be cut off and die. They don't realize, even though they're partially correct, one moment here. One moment. Right here, right? Mm-hmm. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to reconnect. Blog Talk cut off, so I had it to reconnect, but we're right on. The last place I left, Elder Lawyer, where I said that a lot of Israelites out there saying 2/3 shall be cut off and die. They're not altogether incorrect. It's just that the time period that they're talking about for the 2/3 is once we're in the wilderness. Okay? But when it comes to the world population of Israelites, the poor people who are serving this world, 90% of us are going to fall for the government power's deception and die through it. Only 10% of us are going to make it out of this into the wilderness, where only 1/3 of those of our people will make it through before the coming of Christ. It's a purging. It's a purging according to the Bible. 90% of our people, according to the Bible, will stay walking and operating in their evil ways, according to the Most High. Once we get to the wilderness, 2/3 will be cut off and die. Okay? Let's go.
Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart.
Come on.
And convert and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he said, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant.
Until the cities be wasted without inhabitants. That's why Trump is saying build the wall. There will be a slaughter in the cities. That first starts with what? A deprivation of food and water. Them cutting off subsidies. Now eventually the robbers will pillage within our communities who have guns and weapons and all that. And they're going to call that That part will be televised. They'll deem that looting. And when we begin to charge into Walmart and these other stores so that we can have Pampers for our children, food and water, they're going to televise that or publicize that as looting. And that's when the National Guard and the police will have the full autonomy to shoot on sight. Okay? Now, what you need to do is listen to what I'm dropping right here and remember what we're saying. It's going to happen just like that. They're going to be justified according to their law. They're going to be justifiably killing us. See? Because the first thing happens when stuff cuts out, our people who don't know any better or people in a state of panic began to act a fool. And that will play right into the hands of the powers that be. And at this time, Trump, or whomever they have in charge, probably Trump at this time, will say, listen, we must maintain order. What's happening is bad, very bad. We need to maintain order. See? Read.
Then said I, Lord, how long?
How long?
And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant.
Come on.
And the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate.
And the houses without what?
And the houses without man.
And the houses without what?
And the houses without man.
And the houses without men, brothers and sisters. You see this? It was systematic how they slowly had us hate each other to get the only protector of the Most High out of the homes. It was systematic. They never cared for black women. They just wanted to weaponize the black woman against the black man. And vice versa. Weaponize the black man against the black woman. Understanding who would come through that womb. The teachers and prophets. Come on.
Verse 12. And the Lord have removed men far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land.
And there'll be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. You'll have it where there's no good men. All the men are locked up. That's why men got to turn to woman. You start to hear all the stuff I'm saying right now as an excuse to this abnormality, this sickness. See, we'll begin to justify how abnormal and sick this is. Read.
Verse 13. But yet in it shall be a tenth.
Yet in it shall be what?
A tenth.
1/10. Read.
And it shall return.
And it shall return. Only 10% of us will make it out of this, folks. Now, if you would like to go down with the ship, that's on you. Okay? The Most High already put it out there. Okay? He put it out there. Come out of them, my people. Cry loud, spare not, show my people their transgression. There'll be a famine in the land of not hearing the word of God. Tell them and warn them what's to come, whether they hear or forbear. And you know what? Once it's put out there, we as servants or men of the Most High, we've done our job. See? And we know people are going to make fun of it like they did in the days of Noah. They're going to ignore it. They're going to think they have time. All of that. And this is the same thing happened during the time of Enoch. Enoch came out once every day. The people felt comfortable knowing, okay, at least I see him. Then he came out once a week, then once a month, then once a year, then once every 5 years. Then they seen him no more. He was taken for a judgment on the fallen ones. It gives us some level of security knowing, okay, the Most High's word is still being taught, and there's men sounding the trumpet like the Most High say. So that gives us some resolve and ease to know, okay, there is a little time. But what happens, brothers and sisters, when the internet goes out, when there's no one else on the street prophesying, and everything we're saying happens, and none of us have prepared for it? And there's no one preparing for it. So I'm not only talking about it, we're preparing, brothers and sisters. That's why we set up a headquarters, so that we can hit these streets all over the earth like we never did before, because we really have a short time, a real short time before it all shuts down. We're making sure we tell brothers and sisters, this is how much food and raiment and shelter and all that, well, food and substance and grain that you have to store to get out of an emergency situation in case it happens. And we have to plan within the churches, where would you go from one city to the next? Okay? And above all, it's going to be time to leave altogether. And it's not going to be a great exodus of all the children of Israel like it once was coming out of Egypt. That won't exist. That won't happen. That's why they're putting in laws and attaching everything to your passport and travel right now. They're trying to keep us still before the slaughter. Making it where if you owe this or owe that, if you owe child support or this, that, and the other, they'll take your passport away. Stop you from traveling. It's coming. Then they're going to make it where you can't even go from one city to the next without a passport. Under the Real ID Act. It's coming. I've been talking about this through the Spirit of the Most High since 2008, 2009 on the street. You can find videos on it. We're here. Signs when you know it's over. And guess what, lawyer? I knew it was over when I looked on TV the other night and I seen a family, a black family, getting counseled by a feminine homosexual. I'm like, how can this guy give advice to a family? And I'm looking up, I'm seeing, you go to a show and be like, okay, let me go see something with someone cooking something. Maybe I can get a good recipe or something.
Right.
And you got some butch woman looking like a man with her hair spiked up, tasting food, telling everybody what's good or not. I'm like, and I'm not even focused on the food. I'm like, you can't see there's something wrong in this room. Look at this, what's supposed to be a woman. Then you turn on TV, there's a guy sitting there arguing with his sister, throwing stuff back and forth. He has pink hair, fighting another sister. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to get in this word, and I got to make some phone calls. This ship is about to sink. If you can't see that America is abnormal and ripe for destruction, something is wrong with you. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Go to see my mother, and there's some people walking down the street, sisters walking down the street. One got yellow hair, and another one got green hair with lipstick to match. I'm like, you know what? If this is not the days of Noah, what is going on here? I'm like, you know what? We're going to set up this church. We're going to set up our locations. It's going to be temporal. We're not buying nothing. We're renting. And then we're going to have to plan as a nation what happens after this. As a church, how to actually set up a network with other churches throughout the world, like a spiritual underground railroad that would help our people from one place to the next, like the disciples and others who followed the disciples did during the time of Rome. We have to set up where if a brother or sister is a part of the church and he's in some remote area, this is where you can go until you get a word. Here's some food that can help your family, some water. I'm telling you, that's the level of planning, brothers and sisters, has to happen now. Talking about some R. Kelly. You can't see we're being distracted? You can't even go out to eat anywhere. You go somewhere, you go to eat, and some freak comes to your table. Saying, with hands on his shoulder, talking about, do you want some water? No, I'm leaving. No disrespect to you, son. I'm out of here. Oh, Lord. Signs of when you know it's over. We have some announcements to make. Let's make some announcements real quick, Elder Lawyer. Mm-hmm. And after we make our announcements, we have our grand opening for the brothers and sisters who are invited. Shalom. This Friday and Saturday, we have brothers and sisters flying in, the elders and their family from all over the earth to have the grand opening here in Pennsylvania for the Central Church. And this is the church in which we're going to have our administration so that brothers and sisters can get the word efficient, emails and everything answered right, everything centralized. We have to make sure for the next 5-6 months we're on the job centralizing and getting this church together in preparation for what's to come. And Saturday, we're going to sit down with our all white on, have a nice glasses of wine and water, all white on, white tables, white tablecloths, and food. We're going to eat and drink. Thank the Most High for this time, for blessing the church. Okay? Encourage all the elders and deacons and family to endure through this. And after that, it's on. We look to have white everywhere, prophesying, letting everybody know the kingdom is at hand, and that Christ has sent the signs. And it's time for everyone everywhere to get on the ark. Let's do a few announcements, and then I'm going to, a few things I wanted to show too. You can say the announcements real quick. 515-605-9327 if you want to come in. And when you come in, you can give us your take on signs when you know it's over. What have you witnessed in the earth to know that this thing is finished? Okay? Mm-hmm. Come on.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, of course, we know that we are proceeding into the 5th week of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. If you have not yet enrolled, you can either send an email to gatheringas1, that's the number 1 at AOL.com, or you can go to historytimes.org to enroll directly into the academy. For those who don't know what the academy is, it's a 12-week course in which we go through the Hebrew. We have a news segment with Elder Ricard and Brother Shapat giving real-time news as it relates to the Bible. And along with that, we have biblical lessons that deal with history, precept, so on and so forth. So if you're interested, we're still accepting enrollments. Again, go to gatheringas1, the number 1 at AOL.com, or go to historytimes.org to enroll. Also, for those who are interested in the upcoming calendars for the 2019-2020 season, you can go to historytimes.org in order to receive the information concerning the calendars. If you go to our website, we have a section on the site directly for pre-ordering calendars. Those should be available very soon. Also, when it comes to the clothing that you see myself and Elder Ricard are wearing.
I am that I am. I am apparel. And it's with fringes.
Right. You can see this here, the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yes. A
lot of the apparel you see us wear is from the official store of the GOCC Church, or the official clothing line, which is IamApparelStore.org.
Yeah.
You can check out that website to order some of the merchandise that we have available there.
And we have women apparel also. And this way, the money goes towards us planning and getting things together and building more churches in preparation for what's to come.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, for those who are interested in the products and services that are associated with the GOCC network, you can go to our website, gatheringofchrist.org, and we have a section on the site that is specifically for the GOCC network, so you can check out some of the services, some of the businesses and products that brothers and sisters have put their hearts into and their labor into for you to enjoy.
Thank you. And I spoke to Uriel this evening, and all praises be to the Most High. I think we've finished the official Gathering of Christ Church Bible that show the true name of the Most High in Christ all through the book correctly. There's a lot of books out there, and all these other guys did was take a word program and substituted the words that way, which was incorrect, because sometimes that word God has a different meaning, and it's not always a higher. Okay? It's not always a higher. And you have the majority of the books out there, a higher Bibles, are incorrect. We made sure this thing was vetted. It's been 5 years in the making, and we will be presenting and rolling this book out, if it be the Most High's will, before the Passover.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Gocc? Yeah, we getting it in. We getting it in.
Yeah.
Signs of when you know it's over. is the topic of discussion today.
Let me see. Let me pull up a chair.
Okay, pull up a chair, young man. Just grab a chair. It's all good. You can grab one over there. Yeah. Signs of when you know it's over is the topic. Gotcha. Right. Let me go down the line here. You can, make sure you on the side, pull it all the way up.
Just grab some water.
It'll come up, yeah. You grab me some if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Use some water?
Yeah. If you hit the side of that Gotcha,
Sir?
it'll come all the way up. The side of the chair?
He's at the top.
Yeah, just pull it up. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You the man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You?
All right, great. I'm doing great. Man, we going in. Signs of when you know it's over. Now, the Bible says we are like sheep. I mentioned earlier that the first thing Christ would do is shut down these churches, right? I need y'all to check this out real quick. Right? Pope Francis breaks silence of priest sex abuse scandal. Let me make this clear. This is why so many people have walked away from the church, because they believe that the Bible, matter of fact, there's less belief in the Bible, because they say if the priests continually rape and molest, why should we follow a God that ordained wickedness? Right? But molestation has been going on in the Roman Catholic Church since its inception. Mm-hmm. And no one have a video out there titled "Survive in the Catholic Church." Right? Signs when you know it's over. Islam charged with sex abuse. There's just as much homosexuality and child molestation going on in Islam as it is in the Catholic Church.
Bestiality as well.
And bestiality. They'll get on a camel, you name it.
Yep. Pakistan.
They'll get it in.
Pakistan has the largest download of animal porn, of beast porn.
Hold on, I need y'all to hear this. Talking about surviving R. Kelly. We need to survive religion. We have brothers and sisters everywhere walking from the Bible, believing that the Bible justifies this wickedness that goes on within these Babylonian religions like Islam and Christianity. Listen to this.
After posting $25,000 bail. You think he was ever...
Listen to this.
This is the man who allegedly sexually abused women and girls over 4 decades, leaving jail Tuesday after posting $25,000 bail. You think he was ever worried about being caught or exposed?
He knew that we would not go against him. He was so powerful. Everybody respected him. Nobody said anything
raping
negative
people
ever.
Mohammed Abdullah Salim is a renowned Muslim scholar, the founder of a religious school that attracts students from around the country.
Yeah.
The Institute of Islamic Education
Surviving Islam.
Illinois, outside Chicago, is a boarding and day school for students aged 10 to 18.
They're raping kids everywhere. Look at this. Look what's going on in Brooklyn. And of course you see how they show total some type of honor and respect for when the so-called popes do it and the the Muslims do it and all that.
Right.
You see how there's still some dignity. You don't see a perp walk or nothing, right? Check out when they show black people, not excusing them, but this is how we become the face of molestation. First of all, let's get a sister, right? First thing you do is get a sister.
You could do something like that to a child, but then your own daughter. I just don't understand.
Maya Maples broke down in tears as she told Pix 11 about the alleged sex abuse and rape of her little sister, just 14.
Look how in depth they go into it in Brooklyn. Not to excuse that. I'm not excusing this, but look at the difference of how it's covered. You check it out.
Of age, allegedly by her own father, Matthew Gibson, the son of the...
Now, this guy, we need to survive the Baptist church. What the Hell is going on in the Baptist church? This is why the Baptist church is telling everyone you can't judge anybody. Bunch of freaks and perverts up in there.
But Progressive Baptist Church of Brownsville. Maple said the sexual assault has apparently been going on for years, but she and her family only heard about it this past Wednesday when she noticed that her little sister,
Now, I want to show y'all something, brothers and sisters. You notice how the Muslim was under a dark silhouette who was testifying against the imam, right? Without showing herself. So that at least they can keep some integrity or dignity intact. This woman right here that's reporting on it is probably from a Hasidic community. And there's more raping going on in their community than in the Baptist church, but you'll never see this woman report on the rape that goes on in her community to your far left. We're going to drop it like it is.
They only heard about it this past Wednesday when she noticed that her little sister was acting strangely.
And she just blurted it out. She just blurted it out to us that she said, my dad's been raping me since my mom died.
Maybe he's covered by grace. Maybe this pastor, this black pastor who's been raping his own daughter is covered by grace, pastors. And here's my question, Elder Lawyer and Elder Gocc. Can someone please tell me where is Black Lives Matter? Signs when you know it's over. Where is Black Lives Matter right here? Please, someone tell us. Where's Black Lives Matter?
2012.
44-year-old Matthew Gibson was arrested on Thursday and charged with criminal sex abuse and forcible touching of a female victim between the ages of 9 and 14. The little girl's grandmother is so upset beyond words.
Well, he's in jail right now. So you should rot in hell to do this to your own child. How can a father do this?
The Maples family claims...
Hold up now, sister. Isn't he covered by grace? I thought you said the law was done away with. What laws can you judge this pastor on?
Right.
The laws he said never existed. You see, and this is what's wrong in our churches. Listen to this madness.
An assault of young girls at this church has been going on for years and involves others besides Gibson.
Now, what is the familiar narrative in all of this? From the Catholic Church to Islam to the Baptist Church, so and so forth.
More, I feel pastors, anyone that's working with children should get background checked.
I need anyone that has been a victim to either one of these men to come forward so that we can...
Okay, let's get a background check. The Catholic Church just said that they cannot, that no jurisdiction outside of the Vatican can judge any of their molestation. No jurisdiction on the outside of Vatican. That means the Vatican can send a white priest into our neighborhood, rape as many boys as they would like, and they would have to go to a court protected within the Vatican, protected by molesters in Rome. A court that will not incarcerate a priest. But I bet you they'll do exactly. How did she know exactly what laws to pass to fix this if she wasn't prepped? So that's what I'm saying. You can't go by what they're saying. Look at the resolve of what they're putting on the books for pastors who don't molest children.
Right.
Listen.
Anyone that has been a victim to either one of these men to come forward.
Hold up. Let's go back.
Background check.
I need.
Hold up. What do you ask for?
Children should get background checked.
I need anyone that has been a victim to either one of these men to come forward so that we can help them, so that we can bring this man to justice, so that we can bring this church down, because this is not a church. This is a place of torment.
Hold up now. What am I showing you here, brothers and sisters? What am I showing you here? What we're showing you here is when it comes to when we do it, and you know what, it should be shut down, that church. And all Baptist churches need to be shut down. But have you noticed that they're talking about enforcing certain laws on us that they will never place on a white priest from the Roman Catholic Church or a imam? You notice that? I want y'all to check that out. See, even though this man need to be dealt with, but you have to understand how the satanic Roman Jewish media works. They'll take a heinous crime that should be applied to judging one man and put on a book something that will be aimed at destroying us all who preach the word. See? Signs when you know it's over. Talking about surviving R. Kelly. Are you kidding me? We need to survive Islam, Christianity, Judaism, especially Judaism. Especially Judaism. There's a lot we need to be surviving. We need to be surviving Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, okay, Hollywood, okay. Come on, surviving R. Kelly. Brother Aharon, let's go down the line. We're going to ask you signs of when you know it's over. What have you been witnessing in your surroundings that shows beyond any shadow of a doubt we're near the end?
That's the guy's name. Someone put it there. Epstein.
Yeah, Epstein. Yeah, Epstein. The one
off the island.
Yeah, he went and fled into he's at an island. He have an island put together, was set up and all that for raping children. Brother Haran, come on.
Shalom.
Hold on. Let me put this in so they can hear you. Go ahead. Say something?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to jump in really quickly with.
Yeah, you good.
Yes, sir. All right. One thing that I noticed that was a huge sign for me, Elder Ricard, was I saw a video on YouTube where they're basically implementing Trump as the new King Cyrus, and they put his face on one side of a shekel that you're supposed to use to pay to get into the third temple that they're building. And when you look into 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, if I could bring this out really quickly, it says...
You got to hurry up, brother, because you got to go down the line now.
Yes, sir.
Go on.
Now I'll go straight to 2 then. That ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, and the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time. So that was a major sign for me, Elder Ricard, as to what I can look into in the world and directly correlate it into the Bible, that Christ is getting ready to come soon, because the powers that be are getting ready to announce themselves that they are the Antichrist. Bless you, brother. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Well, I don't think they have to announce that they're the Antichrist. And that's another thing. We're not waiting for a sound for them to come on CNN and say, by the way, we the Antichrist. It's not going to happen like that. The signs are saying everything we need to see. Are saying everything. So don't wait for someone to stand and say, guess what? By the way, we were Satanists the whole time. It doesn't work that way. Their actions are showing that they're the sons of perdition. The same people that the Christian church is upholding under the banner of Judaism, they're the Antichrist altogether. It's not just one person popping up. It's many Antichrists. It's the Zionists. They're the synagogue of Satan, those that call themselves Jews and are not. And they're the people that are behind this machine demonizing our people. They've turned everything negative and put our face on it. At first, like I've mentioned, AIDS, who was the face of AIDS? White, gay, promiscuous men. Now the face of AIDS is some black kid in Africa. Or some promiscuous man or woman who's diagnosed based on how many questions, how they answer the question. And our people need to think. How can it be determined you got HIV based on how you answer a questionnaire?
It's the only disease.
It's ridiculous.
HIV is the only disease that takes into consideration your race,
your background,
your postcode.
So that means if you don't answer the questions, you don't have HIV. So they got these little HIV mobiles all in our neighborhood to get us under this so-called quote unquote terrorist list, because that's what it is.
Right.
A disease terrorist. Now we become the face of AIDS. There's no such thing as AIDS, folks.
Never ever take that test.
You take that test, they can say you HIV positive and thereby restrict your travel and everything, because other countries don't want diseased people coming into their country. They can label you. So when it's time, when the war starts, you'll be quarantined. God, what's going on with our people? We fall for everything. HIV don't exist. AIDS don't exist. It's all a bunch of lies. You get rid of vaccines, you get rid of all diseases, period. There is no diseases if you get rid of the vaccines. Period. Lord have mercy. Next, Brother Edward from Louisiana. The call-in number.
Yes,
Hold on, is your phone okay? Because hey, I'm rolling right now. I'm gonna put you on hold. If I get a phone
this is my question.
If I get a phone that's busting up, I'll tell you right now. I'm going to the next one right now because I'm ready to go. We're going down the line. I'm gonna bring you in again, Edward. If you want to speak or anything, take the speakers off, because guess what? We're in it. Signs when you know it's over. Brother Edward from Louisiana, talk to me.
Yes, sir, brother. Signs that I know is over. Isaiah 56, verse 7. The sacrifices. We'll be doing sacrifices in the last days. My question also is that's a prophecy that's supposed to take place, right?
That's a prophecy in the wilderness, yes.
Where all people of all nations will come together. They will be performing sacrifices, right?
When Christ returns, yes. In the wilderness.
Okay.
Well, not when Christ comes. Let me make it clear. In the wilderness, when we are together with the nations, yes, there will be sacrifices in the wilderness. Go on.
Okay. Well, that is being taken place at this time. So, like the brother was saying about the Trump thing.
Hold up, brother. Hold up. What's being taken place at this time?
animal sacrifices by Israelites.
Yeah,
And
but
on
but that's not. It's not talking about that, because when you look in Isaiah, it's speaking of when we're in the wilderness. That's going to be after the fall of America.
Let me read that real quick.
Let's read it. It's not speaking of what's happening right now. That's going to happen once America's dealt with and we're in the wilderness. Read it, Elder Lawyer.
Isaiah 56, verse 7. I'll start in verse 6. Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord,
Exactly.
to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and taking hold of it, even them will I bring into my holy mountain.
Go on.
And make them joyful in my house of prayer.
Come on.
Sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
So that's going to be happening, brother, in the wilderness. That's not happening right now. Let's correct that. And I see a lot of people online is equating the so-called building of the temple and Jewish people sacrificing and Israelite sacrificing as fulfilling that prophecy. They're off. Okay? Let me place you on hold real quick and let's get to the next call. They're off. That's not happening yet. But I understand what you're saying. It will happen. Go to the next one. Sister Nina from Georgia. Signs when you know it's over.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay, so I wrote down some to be quick and run through it. I think the biggest one I noticed is the lack of natural affection. I see videos and stuff of Gentiles attacking women, Israelite women or black women, and I see the men laughing and videotaping it and not stepping in. I myself was attacked in the public recently.
Hey, sister, sister, guess what? I see the same thing you see, but I see the sickness on either side. I see sisters running around not realizing we in warfare, who weren't raised in proper houses that will teach you proper etiquette in public. I see girls running around thinking that they can square up a 6 feet white man and not know that there's a possibility of getting knocked out. You understand? So it's not funny. What it's showing is the sickness that's within Babylon on either side. I seen that video, and what I see a bunch of girls running around mobbing someone, messing with someone's family, pushing people, not realizing, hold up, and seeing this is what's going on with this feminist garbage and what's happening on TV. Making these women think that they're equal to men in power to the degree where a little girl can think she can square up and box a 6 foot white man. That's the sickness they're teaching on TV. And you know what? When I came back to Babylon and look at TV, you know what I said? I said it to everybody around me. I'm like, you know what? Based on what I'm seeing on TV, how they promoting women as equal physically to men, you're going to see a lot of women getting knocked out by men.
Yep.
Something is going on in this society where a woman can think that she can come up to a man and not deal with what most men deal with when they come up to a man. If I square up to a man, I can expect that man to defend himself or try to knock me out. That's how men are. So, sister, I understand what you're saying, but that video speaks volumes of what's going on in our community. I seen that video. And I seen these girls who need to be taught righteousness and virtue and honor. That's what I seen. And I don't excuse that guy, because listen, if I was there, all praise, listen, I'm a man of the Most High and I follow the Bible, but if I was there, the first thing I would have did was gotten away and say, sisters, don't do this. You can't antagonize this man and his family and make it a joke to put online. I would have talked to the sister first. I would have calmed them down and say, don't y'all go in, because that's what our parents used to do. We used to act out and have people run around, but you would have some adult come there and get with the children and say, listen, why don't y'all go back inside? That's what we're missing. But then, but then it still would have been a situation where this guy could have hit that girl.
He could have. I was thinking that too.
That goes to us having a hedge and protection, and our gates not languished. It has to be a thing where there's people in position in which the children will listen to, who they would listen to. Everything is a joke right now in this world. And that's a perfect example of that. It's showing our people are not ready for war. These people are out jogging, they're shooting. I know what they're doing. Our people playing games and laughing. These people are shooting black targets, folks. And they out jogging, doing sit-ups, and they're preparing for what's evident. You can't be sitting there thinking that you can listen. You can't antagonize a man and his family and his children, and don't think that a man will not defend himself when you're acting like a man. So there's something wrong on either side. But there's no way if I would have been there, that guy would have been able to do that, because I would have diffused it. But there's no men here to diffuse things. I've been in situations where I seen someone rising up and trying to do something, and I stood up and I'm like, you know what? Just sister, just go ahead. Like, listen, don't think you're gonna do anything. It's fine. That's my sister right there. So that automatically the direction was aimed towards me. Like, okay, that's your sister? Yeah, that's my sister. Let you know, listen, the thing can go down here. But I'd rather not. I'd rather read scriptures with you. Okay? It's not going to happen. That's my sister. Just go on. It's okay, sis. I've been in situations like that. But the gates are languished. There's no protectors anymore. But when I seen that video, I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? See? There it is. The war is in plain sight. These people are not playing around like our people playing around and joking around and thinking everything is a darn joke. These people are ready. They can see society crumbling beneath them, and they're preparing. Thank you, sister. Let me give you the number real quick. You know what? That sucker punch that was on the video the other day that happened between that little girl and that white guy, that was a sign. That was a sign. Sign when you know it's over. That's a sign. There's a sign that's showing that that there's no protection for our people anymore. The end result of fatherless homes. Women, young girls not being protected because there's no father around. Young ladies that are not being taught proper etiquette and virtue according to God. All that. And guess what? That white man only did what they've been doing since they have colonized this country. You're just seeing it out front with a camera on it. Okay? He's doing what white men have done. Okay? Since colonizing America. They didn't change their stripes. They're not changing who they are. It's us that need to wake up. Sister Amani, North Carolina.
Shalom, Elder. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed by the best. Signs when you know it's over.
Okay, perfect.
Let's go.
Okay, so maybe 2 years ago, my husband, he trains. He does Krav Maga, it's like an Israeli style fighting, and he was telling me that he noticed that a lot of the police department was taking this course. So last week, it was actually on the news, and I read in an article that North Carolina is forcing that all the police department learn this Israeli-style fighting. And if you know anything about Krav Maga, it's a very aggressive type of fighting style.
It's not martial,
and it just kind of sparked interest in me because my husband had noticed that take place about 2 years ago. And it just kind of tied in that the other nations are getting prepared physically. And right now we're so distraught on the phones and, you know, not eating right and not fasting and not physically preparing as well as spiritually. So that was one of the signs that I wanted to share with you guys.
Well, thank you, sister. And I'm going to tell you a lot. I'm going to tell you, we're the only people walking sleep, brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'm going to tell you that right now. You'll be perplexed. You'll be surprised if you actually understood how many plain clothes military is amongst us as we speak right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mossad and the Israeli army are all in the American army. Talking about training them. They are. This army of the United States belongs to Mossad. Thank you. Just get me some tissue real quick. Some napkin. Don't you understand that? They belong to Israel, to the Israeli government and military. Don't you understand that? We went around thinking everything is a joke. Let me tell you, I'm driving in. It's one thing when I'm driving amongst our hoods and where I live at, you know what I mean? But then I drive in the other neighborhoods and I'm checking out these other nations. Right? They're jogging.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay? It's like they're actually in preparation for something. And our people, you can't run 3 feet without huffing and puffing. Thank you. In preparation. Let me tell you, it's time for our people to get in shape.
That's right.
Straight up. Stay away from those vaccines, begin to eat right, and guess what? Drinking water and getting ourselves healthy, and you know what? Get on some bikes, get on something, get ready. Mm-hmm. Brother Nick from Utah. These other nations aren't playing, man. They aren't playing. I'm looking at every time you look around, they jogging, they got their headphones on, and we sitting there with a double hero with 3 burgers on.
Right.
It's not just that, like when you look at the what's the word, effeminizing of the black man.
Yeah.
You with me, like the men, what they what they got the men worrying about. No other man on the earth's doing that. You understand?
Let me tell you, I've never seen so many men in women conversations in my life. Mm-hmm. When you hear men talk, they're having women conversations.
Exactly.
It's like, what? Even the guys online, you can tell they're being driven strictly on their emotions and how they feel. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, let's go down the line. Signs when you know it's over. It's a topic. Look, Gabar started laughing. Where do I get these topics from, right? Brother Nick from Utah.
Yes. Yes, Elder. Shalom, Elder Rakar, Elder Lawyer, Elder Gaja.
Shalom.
Yes, sir. So I'm originally from the islands of Jamaica, and growing up in the 85, coming on up, yes, Elder Gaja, I see you. Coming up in Jamaica, the changes that you see from back in the days till now. I mean, we were a nation where, you know, if you had a homosexual, you had people come out in strodes like it was some type of abomination. If they even hear about somebody getting some crazy thing going on here, especially molesting kids and all that stuff. But now it just seems like a norm. They're having parades and stuff like that with this stuff. I mean, it's unbelievable to witness what's going on now in the islands alone. It's crazy for me, and I'm seeing this stuff, and it just hurts my heart. You know, the heart itself has gone completely cold. The amount of murder, the amount of rape. I mean, you've never seen anything like this with the world we live in today. And I've listened to countless hours of your videos. And I mean, I don't need any more kind of convincing. I've already been baptized. My wife has been baptized. We're already on the train here, ready to go. And Deacon Balas already kind of answered a question for me over here in Utah. We're going to try to link up,
Get a
but
family
I tell you, we're preparing. We're in here ready to go. I mean, we've already kind of seen what's going on, and there's no more convincing for me that's needed. I'm trying to convince my family, but it seems like everyone's so caught up in what's going on in the world. No one wants to pay attention to these scriptures and open their eyes up to figure out what's going on around them. Everybody's just completely blinded to what's going on around them, and it's a shame, and it hurts me.
Hey, brother, it's like this, and I know what you. Hey, brother, I know what you're going through, but the Bible tells you, after the second or third admonition, one that's a heretic, reject. That's the whole thing. Not reject to the point where you won't be there for them, but stop spinning your wheels. Stop spinning your wheels. And that's why Christ says, listen, remember Lot's wife. When it's time to roll, they can look back if they want. The sign was before you. When I was here breaking these things down to you, it was the Most High's presence that I was before you with his word. That was his presence. It wasn't me. It was me showing you the words and the word of God in preparation for your soul. So I'm beyond the point of frustration now. Because why, brothers? Brothers and sisters, this is what people want, brother. And that's the realization you have to realize. This is what they want. You have to let them get and strive in what they want. But you prepare your current family and control what you can control. Even Lot was procrastinating. Even Lot was procrastinating over there in Sodom and Gomorrah. The angels had to come and move him out. They still looking for stuff and trying to get stuff in the house. Well, maybe I'm going to need a jacket. They're like, no, get your behind over here. Everyone having an excuse to stick around talking about, well, maybe I can convince this guy streaming with pink hair to come to the Most High. Be like, listen, we told you once and told you twice, boy. You know you're wrong. So, brother, it comes a time where you can't get frustrated anymore. You have to put that into some constructive planning now to save yourself alive. You know what Noah did? He did what the Most High did. Said do. He built an ark and got on it. I mean, it's one thing if they want what you're saying, brother. You think they're frustrated? You think they're frustrated doing what they're doing? Yeah, get me Ezekiel 3. I'm going to put him on hold. They're having a good time. You see, we sitting there hot and bothered because you're not listening. They're having a good time. You hot and bothered because I wish my family could listen. Listen, Lot heard his wife turn into a pillar of stone. He couldn't look back himself. He looked back. He like, man, yeah. Look, next thing you know, behind him was his wife, a pillar of salt. That's why that's why Christ told the disciples in that day when it comes down, remember Lot's wife, because some of these women, some of these people's hearts are going to be in Babylon. Their strength, their desire, their care will be for the love of this world and not for the Most High. And when the Most High say go, you know what? They're going to say, well, listen, my whole life is wrapped in this. This is all me. This is you. I believe America was made for a place of servitude for God's people. That's what I believe. I don't believe we belong here. Okay? I believe this is punishment. That's what I believe. And I don't believe that our people can actually assume who they really are under the comforts of it. You understand? It's real life when you have to make a way outside of your comforts. When you have to just walk away like Abraham walked away. like the children of Israel walked away. That's when you know, that's when you exercise the faith of the Most High. No one can actually exercise some real faith in the comfort of this wicked and evil place we call Babylon. And that's just the truth. Come on, let's go. Brother Tyrell from Kansas, signs when you know it's over.
Shalom, elders.
Come on. Talk to me. Shalom, talk to me.
Okay.
Everyone hit that like button. Hold up. Everyone hit that like
Okay.
button so that we can get other people up in here real quick before we shut down. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. Basically, elders, I was just calling in because I was trying to get a hold of you guys because I'm needing to be baptized. Me and my mother pretty soon because we both live in a racist town and I don't know how much time we have left. So I was wondering if someone can please contact me so I can get baptized.
Racist town. You sound like you're being held hostage. Where are you?
Kansas.
Okay, so listen. When you say racist town, what are you experiencing there?
Well, it's pretty racist. You know, I've been harassed by the police department. You know, I basically don't leave my house.
Sounds normal to me.
Stay in, just don't.
Hey, maybe we all was born in a racist place, huh?
Yeah.
What they pulling?
Yeah,
what they
you're right
pull?
about that. You're right about that.
What they pulling you over? Assuming
But
asking you for your driver's license and your registration, and you know, making you assume the position and checking you and stopping, frisking. Just a normal black stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You know, you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah. Hey, brother. Hey.
But, you know, I called like, I'm sorry, Elder. Go ahead.
No, what city are you in here? Let me put it down.
I'm in the city is Manhattan, Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah, I called in last week. I think I got the Daughters of Zion. I spoke to the lady if someone can get a hold of me, but no one called me back.
Well, don't worry about it. I got it for you. Don't worry about it. I got it for you. We'll call you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Do you need my number, Elder?
I just wrote down your number. Your number's here, right?
Okay.
And just if you stop by the cops, just comply. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All
yes,
right.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna place you on hold.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll call you. Don't be like these people who's claiming that they're sovereign citizens.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get tased and violated. All right, next. Brother Gabar from North Carolina. Signs when you know.
Shalom.
Shalom. Signs when you know it's over. Talk to me. How you doing?
All right, brother. So at work, I'm good. Brother Gabar, South Carolina. So at work, I've noticed that the hiring mechanism that they do has been geared more towards homosexuals than normal people that are looking for jobs. I'm not sure if it's a tax break or whatever have you, but it's just weird that more feminine men are coming in as opposed to regular men, regular women that would normally come into a job. On that's the sign that I see. But another sign that I see as well is other nations, you know, that when I'm talking or discussing the Bible with, I could be talking to my brother at work and other people that come by. I'm also noticing that other nations are really taking in what's being discussed as well. So I see it from both sides, the positive and the negative. As far as the signs of Christ coming, I like to see that. Go ahead, brother.
Well, you have to realize that, you know, in a lot of these companies, there's a silent quota where they don't want to come off as being discriminative when it comes to hiring practices, you know, as far as ethics goes. I don't understand how that falls in the veins of ethics. But all in all, you have to keep it. Here's the reality of it, and I'm sure this is going to shock and hurt a lot of you. Black people, straight black people, people of God, black people in general, as far as society is concerned, has been replaced by homosexuals.
Yes.
Okay? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay? Period. Homosexuals is the new minority group that's the focus of protection right now. There's no more protection for black people. You had your time. It's time for these freaks, okay, to reign supreme. And they'll get all the finances and protection to do so. You have to keep in mind that this is nothing more than a plan that was discussed by the Masons under Albert Pike in the late 19th century, that at the end of the war between Islam and Christianity, once they use each other, use both of those platforms to actually destroy each other, that they will release the nihilists and the homosexuals against society. This plan is over a century years old. So there's no civil rights for black people anymore. Okay, the only people that gets protection in this world is Jewish people and homosexuals. That's it. Okay? Because the black man, because the black man is waking up. The black man is waking up, and it was prophesied that the black women would bring forth the prophets, the teachers. You are a threat to Satan's kingdom.
That's right.
Yeah, what you expect? Hey, all you got to do is be prepared for the elevator music to come on with the disco ball on the elevator, and hear the music and hear the melody. Listen to it. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. I'm place you on hold. Let me get to the next call. Amen. Brother Barazal from Missouri.
Hey, Shalom, Elder.
Shalom.
Just had a couple of points, I guess. Just had a couple of points, a couple of questions. I did read in the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 61 and 2, real quick. And it said, and another said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home in my house. And Yeshua said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. Also, just wanted to read that scripture out there. But I had a question. I know it's the tenth that will be, totally destroyed. And I was just looking online, and I saw quickly that just kind of roughly, I think it was like 47 million of African Americans, so-called African Americans. So ideally, if there was a tenth of that, it would have been probably like 4.7 or something like that. But that number will be scratched because it's talking about 10% of the 12 tribes worldwide. Isn't that correct? And so it may be less of us going than that amount.
No, it will be 10% of the world's population of Israelites that will make it.
That's what I thought.
And
that diminishes this number too.
It's 10% of the world's population, and then 2/3 of that population will be cut off in the wilderness.
Right. So it may be less than that 4.7 of just so-called African Americans here, because that number has to be portioned out worldwide. That's incredible.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you, brother.
That's what I just wanted to say. Thank you for your work. Shalom. All
right. Thank you. Shalom. Oh, yeah, we was talking about that video that's circulating with that big white guy that hit that young girl, 12 years old. There was mob.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you seen it? Mm-hmm. But the whole deal is, and guess what? Like I said, that's a sign in itself. That's a wake-up call. Mm-hmm. You understand? Our people have been playing around, joking around, thinking this thing is a joke. These people ain't playing around, man.
Right. Right.
And but they don't mind sisters getting loose like that, because sisters getting programmed in our hood to be like that, because they know that you get up in a man's face that you can call the cops and the cops will come and grip you up.
Right. But I think now.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic right now. You can't go in the suburbs in the mall with that.
Right.
You keep that within the confines of the ghetto.
Right.
That's where you can call 911 at.
Right, but even with the ghetto, brothers are getting tired of that.
Yeah, hey man, listen. Hey man, that was a sign in itself. I don't care what they say through women liberal movement and feminism or whatever the case is. That's reality. And you know what? And like I said earlier, I know you missed this, Gabar. They're programming women in general to believe that they have the same physicality as men.
Yeah.
And can oppose men. I see some of these movies and I see a guy 6'4", 350, being flipped by a girl 110 soaking wet with rocks in her pocket.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is the movies.
Uh-huh.
This can only happen in the movies. I'm like, and she's sitting there whipping her hair, mascara still in place, and yeah, you know what I mean. And he's sitting there screaming like a little girl. I'm like, listen, I don't know what they're doing with their programming, but there's have people out there believe within our hood, and women believe that they can take on men.
But you haven't seen the transgender thing. You have 2 kids racing in all women rally race in high school or something, because they identify as women.
Yeah.
Right. So they are competing against women, and all the mothers of the little girls are protesting, saying this is a kid. Right. He identified as a girl, but his biological makeup is a boy.
Yeah.
He's been breaking all kinds of records.
Yeah. Yeah. Like equality. They got a guy. Right. Man, they got a guy looking like they got a guy looking like Adonis.
Right.
A Greek god with a wig on.
Right.
Breaking all the women records. Looking like a Hellenic god.
Right.
got a neck like this with a wig on, saying he want to run with the girls' team.
Right.
That's also going on in MMA. There's a male guy who's not competing with women.
Yeah.
He's wrecking all. He's destroying all.
He's destroying all the girl records. It's just a big black dude, right?
He was a mediocre male fighter. He was, mediocre, but when he trained as a woman,
right.
He's
undefeated.
No,
check it out. No. See, you have these quote unquote white feminist women who saying that we should have equality and all that.
Right.
But this is when equality goes bad.
Right. Exactly.
When you got a black boy that grew up in the suburbs who thinks he's a girl.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you should see these man, you should see these PTA moms looking at their daughters getting dusted. We need to talk about this gender thing. Right. They're trying to be politically correct, but it's like we need to really discuss these rules, because we didn't expect some black dude to come up here with a wig and break all the girls' records. At Becky Valley High. We you understand? We need to switch this up.
Right.
This guy jumping over things. This dude can slam dunk at everything. He's on every girl's sport. I'm like, man, this is when it goes wrong, right? 607 area code.
Shalom.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. Talk to us. Shalom.
Shalom.
We're gonna go a little overtime.
This is Octacaf. It's two things really. I've noticed this to end because I come from a city called Ithaca in upstate New York, and I found out it was originally called Sodom. And at my ex-job, there's just homos all over the city. And my ex-job, even one guy that I didn't even know was gay until I overheard them talking, and then the next day he came in
60 seconds.
Fully dressed up like a woman and everything. So it's definitely over. And the second thing, I used to be part of the Albany congregation. We kind of got broken up
Gabar knows me. We talked and stuff. And about a month ago, I was down in Philly talking to Bishop Ahmad. So I was just wondering if you guys could call me at a later time or tomorrow or whenever you can, if you could take my number.
You have his number?
Just write it down, Elder.
Hold on, let me get your number. One moment, let me get it here. 60. Don't worry about it. We're gonna put it back together there.
Officer Sean, he's in top of it.
Okay, great.
I'm actually like 4 hours from Albany, so I've been in my city all by myself, really. So I was 4 hours from there the whole time I was part of that congregation. And I'm like 3 hours from Philly and about 3 or 4 hours from the city too. So
Okay.
I'm like
10 seconds.
Okay, let me have your name, brother.
My name is Joe, but my Hebrew name is Takav.
Okay, we'll call you, Toronto. We'll call you up tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
All right, bless you. Yeah, end of the bar. All right, let's go down the list. A few more calls to take. Signs when you know it's over. All right. I mean, it's wild in America right now, right? I mean, it's wild. I mean, but you know what? You know the real reason America is going to go down and why things are so bad and can never, that America will never be able to recover. I'm going to tell you what's so wrong with America. R. Kelly is. Okay? All the things we've discussed tonight, I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't for R. Kelly, America would be a better place. You understand? Yeah. That bad R. Kelly. You know what I mean? Let's go. Brother Edward from Louisiana.
I think did we get that one?
Did we? Yeah, we got him already. Brother Edward.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I have you already. I'm sorry, Edward. What about Brother Akeem from South Carolina? Did we get him? No, we didn't.
No.
Akeem from South Carolina. Shalom.
Hello?
Shalom.
Shalom. How you doing, bro?
I'm blessed by the best. His name is Ahia. Talk to me. Come on.
The real reason why the United States is so bad.
Yeah.
And because you can see the rumors of wars every day between Iran and America and Russia, and it's already escalating into World War III every single day, and the earthquakes in diverse places all across America. And this upcoming blood moon we supposed to have in January, that's a sign too. Those are all signs. But
okay, brother, what's your name, real quick?
My name is Rakeem.
Are you?
I remember talking to you, and I just want to tell you that I will see you at this year's Passover in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh.
And I just wanted to come to you there at Passover.
Excellent,
and I
brother.
wanted you to give me a call if you have a chance.
Okay, brother. Okay, we'll definitely talk.
My phone is 669-8499.
I'll put your don't put it out there now. You're having crank calls from here to Passover. Let's see. I'm gonna put it down. Let me get your name. Okay, brother Akeem, I got you. Akeem, I got you. All right, brother. I'm gonna put you on hold. Someone is asking what Okay, brother, I got you. I got your number. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna call you. Some people are asking what is my shirt saying from I Am Apparel. As you can see, man, I love the metallic gold I Am Apparel. Mm-hmm. Where I am, you can see that. Excuse me. I Am Apparel, right? Some people asking what is it saying. It's saying, I am that I am. Ahia, Ashar, Ahia, in the ancient, in the Phoenician.
Right, so at the top you got the ancient Proto-Sinaitic Hebrew.
Say it again.
The ancient Proto-Sinaitic Hebrew. That's
There you
the
go.
Hebrew they found around the Sinai Peninsula.
Yeah.
Here you have the ancient Phoenician Hebrew. And there, of course, you got the English
name.
transliteration.
It's the Most High's name. There you go. You got it? All right, let's go. Only got a few more. We got Sister Terry from where? And then we have Brother Vaughn. Sister Terry, signs when you know it's over. Talk to us.
Shalom, Elder.
Talk to me.
Hello. Okay, the times that I know it's over, what I've noticed is just the men are just so feminine. I know you repeated this before and you kind of covered the topic, but that's just what I've noticed. Everywhere I go, it's just, everybody's just so feminine. But anyway, what I wanted to know was there any churches in Indiana?
Yes, we have a gathering there. Not a big one, but we will have one soon, real big in Indiana. Let me, Sister Terry, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get your number again.
It's,
No. The number I'm seeing here, no, don't worry about it. The number I'm seeing here is the number I can reach you on, right?
Oh, yeah, this here is my daughter's phone. Yes.
Okay, well, I'll call your daughter's.
My phone, I couldn't call, my battery was low.
Okay, don't worry about it. I'll tell you what, I'll call your daughter's phone to get your number. I don't want you to put your number out here in public, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. But I just want to also say that I listened to you guys. I saw a lot of your older videos.
Yeah.
And to see you guys now, it just reminds me kind of like Moses. When Moses, was before he started, talking with the Most High, and you can just see the age, not in terms of it looks bad or anything. You can just see that you're just wise. That's just what I noticed on television. I'm so sorry, but please, I look forward for your telephone call. Thank you so much.
Well, all praises be to the Most High, and that's where the praises go to. And you know what? I'm just enduring. Okay? All credit and praise go to him. Okay? I'm just enduring. That's what you see. We all get wisdom with time. All you see is a person from that time who never stopped. That's it. Listen.
Okay, thank you guys so
thank
much.
you. Bless
Thank
you. The
And
whole
our family.
hold up. What'd you say? Hold up now. She's saying bye and hello at the same time. Go ahead. Say it again. Come on.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All I know is you got to endure unto the end.
That's right.
We come too far not to cross the line, brothers and sisters. That's what we saying. All right. Now, I got one more here, probably two more. Brother Vaughn from Florida and Brother Servant from Florida. Signs when you know it's over. And you know what? That is a sign. When walking down the street, no matter where you go, that's all you see is the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah. Every place, it's inescapable. Something is very wrong where every place you go, you're dealing with feminized men and women who want to be men. It's weird. Like, what's wrong with you being who you are? And as a man, as a male, and have her be who she is as a woman. And here's the sick part about that thing. It's disobedient to parents. Because why? Neither of these people came through and received life through a homosexual act. It's straight disobedience to parents. It's disrespect to how you receive life.
Hey, Ella, can I read something real quick?
Come on, talk to me.
I'm in the book of 2 Timothy, the 3rd
and I don't know what's worse. Either what they're doing or how our people and churches are excusing it. Let's go.
It says here, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. Now this narcissism, that's the word? Narcissism.
Yeah.
Right? With men. The selfie, the obsession with themselves going on right now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you have a guy sitting there in the bathroom like a chick in a mirror talking, you know what I mean? Now and you know he doing this, right?
Right.
Flexing it out. And then he greased all up, talking about a selfie.
I'm talking about I'm in the gym, dude, diesel, taking selfies.
Yeah, he's in the gym, greased up,
Yep.
Come on, dude, that's a girl.
taking a selfie. I'm like, what? What's
Yep.
signs when you know it's over?
This is it. It's done. Let me read some more here. For men shall be lovers of their own selves,
Yeah.
covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. Now, the homosexual
Yeah.
agenda, nobody wants to see them child be a homosexual.
No one want that.
Yeah. And when you look at even that same video that they mentioned earlier with the teens out there, how they were acting, you know these teens, the parents can't talk to these teens.
Yeah.
The parents can't put them in check. You understand?
Yep.
It's like we're in a time right now where if parents try to discipline or put in line the children, then you have the authorities coming in, then you have all sorts of things can happen that you can go, jail, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Trying to put your family in order.
Yeah.
Disobedient to parents, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce. Now, if you ever encounter some of these sodomites, right?
Yeah.
These sodomites are dangerous. You understand? Fierce. They're very intolerant. You know, talk about tolerance? These are some of the most intolerable people on the earth. It's their way, or
Right.
like we're saying, look what they're putting the pressure right now on what's the guy called to endorse their way of living. Same thing they did to Buju Banton until they ended up putting him in prison. You with me? Not diverting. You understand? Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Now what's good? The Bible tells you in Romans 7, the law is good. So we keeping the law, they despise that.
Yeah.
You have a man wanting to be a man, that's good. They despise that.
Yeah.
And what I need to understand as well, these people, these reprobates, right, is that when a man say he wants to be a woman or vice versa, it's more, you can't change your gender like that. Why? Because the Most High made you that way. Every cell, every inch of your body is what the Most High made you. The Most High is perfect. You understand? So you putting on a wig or you doing surgery or whatever the case is, it does not change who you are. It does not change how the Most High made you. And that's what they hate. They hate what's good. The Most High made us perfect. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than the lovers of the Most High. Having a form of godliness. Now, we had a discussion a couple weeks back where we saw this pastor, the 70-year-old pastor.
Yeah.
Trying to seduce a young sister within him church. You understand?
Yeah, I've seen the video. Yeah. I put the video on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's lovers of having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort they are which creep into houses, and led captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. Now you say we're looking for the signs that it's done.
Here's the signs.
Yeah, the signs.
Because it's not just the sodomites. It's also the women who are in agreement with them.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you this. It came a time, and I'm going to, and you know what? And that's fly in the face, or that's just exacerbating the fact that men are absent in the homes. Some at their own volition, and some because they're not allowed to be a man in their home. So there's two dynamics working there. But then, because when I was growing up, even if you had a girlfriend or whatever the case is, you couldn't have no girlfriend staying a night over your house and all that unless you were now. That was a sign to your parents that, you know what, boy, it's time for you to be out on your own if you can have someone laying up in my house. Immediately, responsibility was tied to those, what you would call, actions. Even that was even with a woman, a young lady. Now, what we have in these houses today, Gaja and Lawyer and Gabar, is you got women with gay sons in school having the gay son come home and spending the night all up in the house on the weekend and all that in the house. This is, and then you wonder why it's happening right now, is because women are allowing the behavior, saying, I'd rather him be doing that. This is how we excuse things with our simple thoughts. I'd rather him be in here safe than out on the streets on drugs. They will excuse it like that, on drugs or being killed like other boys. So this is why we're seeing it more often than we used to, because it's being cultivated, excused, and to some degree promoted. It's being promoted within our communities. Brothers and sisters.
The brother said earlier, when I called in from Jamaica. Right now in Jamaica, right now, just what you said, we see this thing going on right now. We see gay Christian couples living in the ghettos right now in Jamaica, where 5-10 years ago that could never happen. You with me?
You have what?
Gay Christian couples living together in the ghetto.
What you mean, gay Christian
couples?
Gay
Christian couples within Jamaica living in the ghetto. And I tell you, and guess who's supporting it? The mother they're supporting it. The mother cooks and clean for them. That's something that we actually prophesied against. Where we are, we're seeing it. This is sign.
You know what? You know what? This is what we're gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Right? I'm getting a camera. We're going to go out to some of these places, into the communities, into the churches. Right? Hold up. I can hear you, Gabar. We're going to go out into some of these communities, and we're going to have a whole list prepared to ask pastors, is this covered under grace? Is this covered under grace? And we're going to use some specifics and then allow them to, we're going to have them sign release forms so that we can actually bring out this information online, showing our brothers and sisters according to the church what evils are excused under grace within our Christian churches. I'm going to go out with the camera and we're going to do that.
Sounds like
right? Yeah. Because I don't know what a Christian gay person is. What's that?
Yeah, man, speaking in tongues and all that. Crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, this is showing itself. But let's get a few more. We only got a few more calls. We have Brother Servant from Florida. Signs of when you know it's over.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, talk to me.
Okay, there's a couple of reasons why I say I know it's over. That's not even including the sodomy, these sodomites that's walking around no matter where you go. But China is talking about rewriting the Bible, and instead of having Yeshua in it, they're going to put Buddhism and Confucius, and they're going to take the book of Psalms completely out of the Bible, and they're going to edit the New and Old Testament and they're going to change the Western. They say they're not going to leave it westernized as it's been written. It's going to, so basically they're saying it's going to be a Chinese Jesus. That's one reason. And my second reason is DC Marvel Comics is releasing a book called The Second Coming. It's basically blasphemy, them mocking Yeshua, where they're saying the Most High is upset with Yeshua for the way he handled his first time coming down to earth, being sent to earth. So what it is now, he has him roommating with this favorite superhero, the Earth's favorite superhero, Sun Man, who is the last son of the sun god Crispus, to show Yeshua how he should have handled things on Earth. And Yeshua is supposedly angry with his followers for the way they have done his gospel.
Okay, brother, I got to put you on hold with that. I got you, but I got to get to the next call. You going to wrap it up?
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be upset, and they're just making a mockery of the of Yeshua and the Most High, and that's what makes me know that the world is over.
Hey, check this out.
It's pretty much a done deal.
Yo, check this out.
Thank you, brother.
Blessings, brother. There's something you just said here. Jog my thought, right? All of a sudden, no, something is wrong with the Bible. It needs to change. This needs to come out of it. When the Bible been there for years, but the minute now Israelites are waking up and identifying themselves with the word, seeing the word, now we have movies coming out, this coming out, everything coming out now, to say, all right, the Bible, we need to change this in the Bible, or we need to this in the Bible. What happened before when Pastor Porkchop was there? You understand? Yeah. And nobody was reading it.
Yeah, on that point, right? I need you to examine this real quick. We have so-called scientists and so-called historians are claiming that the characters of the Bible never existed, right? Okay, so you say the Bible never existed and the characters never existed. So why even focus on the book at all? That's not historically or archaeologically correct. That means nothing at all. So you got historians looking at the book saying something is wrong with it. You have the conscious community who's dealing with all these different religions saying something is wrong with it, right? You have people who used to say live and let live, and all cultures have their own characters and books to follow, focusing on changing it. Why? If it's all live and let live, and the Bible stands alone, and for those who want to believe in it as it is, why touch it? Why don't you focus on your Chinese Buddhist information or your African information? Why is it the Bible is on the attack end of every society when it comes to belief? If it isn't the Word of God. See, what would get attacked in a wicked world? In an evil and perverted world?
What's good?
The Word of God. If the whole earth is wicked and evil, what would be you can know what's right by understanding what it's attacking. Okay? What's opposing it? Why is everyone focused on the Bible on any level if it isn't significant? Why have a Chinese or a Buddha to replace Jesus in the Bible? Why don't you just make a book and have Buddha in it?
Right.
You know why? The cat's out of the bag, like you said earlier. Guess what? The crouching lion, the sleeping lion has awakened. The black man is taking ownership of its own book. And that's why. Okay? And guess what? I've yet all of my life, even before I learned this truth. Okay? All my life living and believing in this Bible and following Christ, I've yet to find any other nation who can break down this Bible like an Israelite can right now. Regardless of their doctrine. That lets me know. That's a sign to everyone out there. A sign when you know it's almost over. When you know it's over. When we're not looking at Kenneth Copeland or some white theologian or someone who's supposed to be an expert in the book for guidance in it. That's a sign when you know it's almost over. I've yet to see any of them break down the Bible like some Negro some dropout who learned the Bible from Israelites can break down your highest theologian. The Most High says the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. That through the mouth of babes, he'll speak to his people. He won't use the theologian schools to bring forth the kingdom. He'll use the unlearned. So that no man can take credit for what only the Most High can do. Which is what? Revive the children of Israel. Let's go. We only got one more call. Sister Jenny, South Kakalaki, South Carolina. Let's go. And y'all get in that academy. Shalom. Let me tell you, get in that academy. You don't want to miss that academy. Let me tell you, things are being broken down in that academy like it has never been broken down before. In-depth Bible lessons in this Hebrew and Bible Academy. We have 2 more months. Man, you miss Who's Edom. We went in for like 3-4 hours on Who's Edom last Sunday. And there's no way a person cannot know who Edom is after that lesson.
Right.
So be there. What we going into this Sunday, Elder Lloyd?
The split between Judah and
the
Israel.
split between Israel and Judah, showing beyond any shadow of a doubt the Israelites that were scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And guess what I'm going to include this weekend? This Sunday, I'm going to be going into the 10 tribes that went into China and went through the Bering Straits into Alaska. I'm going to be showing the Asian Israelites, not just those that are from North, Central, and South America. The Israelites that went into Asia also. We'll be going into it this coming Sunday. You don't want to miss it. Okay? Let's go. Sister Jenny, talk to me.
Yes, Elder. Yes, I believe you. I was in 4 of them. That's including your very first one. So I'm looking forward to being in my 5th one. But Elder, I just wanted to tell you that how I know it's the end. Used to be a time where you can go everywhere and black people were having conversations about the Most High. Even if they were arguing and they were wrong, you would hear conversations. But you're not really hearing those conversations like that anymore. It's like they're not talking anymore about it. It's like they're just either too tired or their mind is not on it. And it's like the brother said.
Sister, you say their mind is not on.
So many homosexuals.
Hold up, sister. You say their mind isn't on what? I missed that.
Their mind, it's like their mind is not on the Most High anymore. They're not having those conversations, even if they're arguing. You know, a lot of people, they don't know what they're talking about, but they still got their 2 cents, and they used to have those conversations all over the place. You used to go everywhere and hear them talking about the Most High. But you don't really hear those conversations with black people now.
Ah, that's deep in itself.
So,
and it's what I was going to speak of earlier.
Right, famine in the word.
Yeah, that's a sign. Where you'll know. Let's read that real quick, Elder Lloyd.
Yeah.
Because it was one time in which you couldn't go any place without hearing about the Most High or the love of the Most High amongst our people. I remember that.
That's right. That's right. And especially them big Bibles that they used to have, where you put your family names in. Everybody's family had one of those Bibles, and you don't see them in nobody's house no more.
Yep, I remember you can go to any house, they have that big Bible right there on that mantelpiece.
Yes, but those are things that are disappearing. When those things like that we remember disappear, it's over.
That's true. That's true.
That's how I feel like it's over, Elder.
Let me read that, because sister, what you're saying was an actual scripture we were about to read earlier. Read it real quick for me, Elder Lloyd.
Amos 8:11.
Read.
Behold, the days come, saith the Most High Power, that I will send a famine in the land.
A famine in the land.
Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water.
Not just food and water, because we still eating and drinking.
But of hearing the words of the Lord.
But hearing the words of the Lord. That's a sign. A famine of hearing us speak. And give glory to the Most High God. Read.
Yes, but I tell you, in my house, Elder, we still having them conversations.
That's good. That's good. Praise the Most High. And you keep those conversations going, sister. You know what? The Most High is listening. He hears you.
That's right.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Much. Shalom.
Shalom. Let me place you on hold here. Go ahead, Elder Lloyd.
Verse 12, Amos 8:12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord.
They're going to go all over the place. They're going from the Baptists to the Muslims to the Seventh-day Adventists to the Jehovah's Witness to the Catholics. Read. New Age. And I don't understand why people are becoming Buddhists. There's nothing the Asians can teach me anything. Nothing the Asians can teach me about the Most High God. Not a darn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Not a darn thing can they teach me about the Most High. They're over there cooking cats and everything right there on the street in front of you. Finish reading.
And shall not find it.
And they shall not find it. Why? Because they're looking in the wrong places. Our people are looking on the outside of their own people for deliverance. When the Most High have given you a sign, guess what that sign is? The teachers he have placed before you. He says, your teachers shall not be scattered in corners anymore, but your eyes shall see your teachers. He's giving you the sign. You're looking for some Chinese dude to give you away. Give you a direction out of your condition. Or some white man somewhere to show you that you're the children of the Most High God. I see our people, we're under some type of psychosis to the degree in which the Most High will free us from the grips of the other nations, and we still look to go under him. There's this thing that our people have to break. And that's the hatred we have one for another. And the dishonor and disrespect we have for men of the Most High. 314. Last call. Talk to me. Shalom.
Shalom, elders.
Shalom.
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 Hello?
Yeah.
Shalom, elders. Just wanted to say I appreciate everything y'all do before I even get started. But we're going to be in the academy this weekend, and I had called in not too long before to let you know that we was going to be getting baptized in the St. Louis area, and your boy got wet. The whole family got baptized, so we got baptized in the true name. Thanks to y'all. Double honors to our teachers. That's you, Elder Lawyer, Shapat, Elder Gaja, Elder Gabar. Hey, we love y'all over here. We're in the St. Louis area.
Thank you, sister. Praise the Most High.
To let you know that we in the last time Samsung coming out with a TV that's 219 inches called the Wall. That just threw me off for the simple fact that we in the year 2019
Man.
and Samsung decided to come out with
The TV ain't big enough, huh?
That's 219.
They're going to make it where soon you're going to be able to just walk into it.
But for the most part,
Like, it's like,
for the most part, they trying though.
Lord have mercy, a wall for a TV. I'm good. Well, thank you, sister. Thank you. Lord.
Nah, hey, I'm a brother.
Oh, brother, I'm sorry.
But for the most part, the family wanted to just say thank you just for all of the work that y'all been putting in.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, brother. Okay, you're welcome, brother. Let me put you on hold.
All right, here they go.
The phone going in and out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, signs when you know it's over. Okay. Hey, brothers and sisters, we're living in the worst of times, but guess what? It's the best of times.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Israel is awakening throughout the four corners of the earth. And you know what? It's time to come back to the Most High. Okay? So if you would like to be a part of this work, of course, we're baptizing all over the earth. You can send an email to gatheringas1@aol.com. Okay, we'll link you in with an elder for your region to make sure you can gather with us to help us spread the word. You understand that the kingdom is at hand, and it's time for Israel to come back to the Most High, and we as Israelites will be a light to the Gentiles.
That's right.
And if you would like to become a part of our Hebrew and Bible Academy, of course, I keep on mentioning in this, but hey, it's nothing like this class any place on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's no class like this. You can see our lessons online that's available for you, like the classics like From Babylon, Rome to America. Classics like the 12 lost tribes of Israel found. We have many lessons like that out there. Our street preachings. Now just imagine having 12 weeks of in-depth lessons, PDFs sent to you on that same level, broken down directly from us to you each week, in which we're not just on video. it's interactive. So if you have questions, they're answered. Okay, so it's only $50 a week, and I mean, not even, it's less than that. Excuse me, $50 monthly, $150 for a 3-month period. 12 weeks of lessons, and the money goes towards building and finishing this work. Okay, so if you would like to be a part of that, send an email to gatheringas1@aol.com, or go to historytimes.org to enroll there, or go to gatheringofchrist.org and you will see a tab for the Academy. It'll give you the link for enrollment. Okay. Also, we have our annual, you got it, Gathering of Christ Church calendar. Of course, the new year starts around around March, April. You understand? So I know it's January, but our calendars start actually in the spring. Okay, so if you would like that, if you like the calendar, excuse me, you can go to gatheringofchrist.org for the calendar so that you can put in your pre-enrollment for that. Okay, you can put in a pre-order, and we'll have you, and the first off the presses will come directly to you so that you can keep the proper times and dates and holy days according to the 364-day, 52 Sabbath calendar year. There's no such thing as a 365-day calendar. There's no such thing as a 365 point whatever calendar according to the Most High. A calendar year is 52 weeks, 364 days. Okay? And we have that precise calendar according to the original calendar that was given to us before the flood. The Gathering of Christ Church has that, and it's available to you if you would like to order it. It's only $20 to have it. Great calendar. And by next week, I'll have some examples of some of the markers or the pages of how this particular calendar will look. Any of you have to say anything before we break down?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, shalom, brothers and sisters. We're getting ready for our elders meeting, as well as, you got it, the opening of the Gathering of Christ Church headquarters for our churches throughout the four corners of the earth, to unite and bring the eldership together in the spirit of the Most High in an effort to finish the work Christ have entrusted in us. So we'll be doing that this weekend. I will not have a class this Saturday, but we'll have someone actually broadcasting in which you can still have a class this Sabbath. I'll have the academy, but there will be no Sabbath class based on the fact that we're dealing with the grand opening this weekend. With that, I'm going to say shalom, stay prayed up, sin not, and I'm sorry we had a long discussion, but sometimes we lose track of time. Bless you, shalom, stay strong, stay prayed up, and sin not. We'll soon see Zion.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.